Etymology. Supplied by a late consumptive usher to a grammar school. The
Ah, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go, and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Ah, Danny boy, I love you so. But when ye come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear, though soft, your tread above me, and then my grave will warmer, sweeter be. For you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
Need a crappy drawing of a pig?
By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling, Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling. As the prison ship sailed out against the sky, for she lived in hope and pray for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Well, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. Oh, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. We're all safe and warm here, my friends. All the bad times are over, they won't come again. Raise up your voices and give us a song. All of the hard days are gone. Oh, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. When life has been cloudy and grey, take the bad memories and put them away. The sun has come out, we've waited so long. All of the hard days are gone. All of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are are gone. So raise up your glasses and sing. All the hard times are gone, sure they don't mean a thing. If you wanna be happy, we'll take you along. All of the hard days are gone. Oh, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. All of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. Well, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. Laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. All of the hard days are gone. All of the hard days are gone.
Now ADT.
I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the moon. Cats are prowling on their beat. Springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. The ducks saw a train set the night on fire. I smelled the string on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm gonna make a picture back, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town.
Hello, can you hear me? All right, so welcome to the Front Porch stream for what is today, the 17th of March, 2018. Jesus fucking Christ. How is everybody out there? I love it. Somebody in the chat room just said, I have never heard the Pogues this far away from Christmas time, and I know exactly what Christmas song you hear from the Pogues. It's a Fairy Tale of New York, which is a wonderful, touching song about a man and the woman that he was in love with who now hate each other, and he's locked up in a cell on Christmas Eve, and yada, 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 yada. You listen to really depressing Christmas music. So, welcome to the Front Porch stream. If it's your first time around, I'm the Boozy Barrister / Boozy Badger / whatever you want to call me anymore. I don't even bother with my actual name these days. I just kind of assume that we're going to go with whatever name you want to throw out at me. You got to forgive me as I adjust the camera a bit. I did a camera test and then I shifted my fat ass around a little. The idea of the Front Porch stream is very, very simple. It's not difficult at all. Back when I was growing up in the South, we used to stand on the front porch on nice evenings and we'd talk to each other. We'd trade stories. We'd trade songs. We'd have a couple drinks, and that would just be a fun way to spend an evening. And everybody else out there has guests. They have everything like that, and maybe I'll do that sometime, but not right now. Right now, I just kind of enjoy once a month sitting down with all of you guys for a couple hours, having a couple drinks, and telling a few stories. Normally, we start off with a topic, and it all goes to hell, and as I start drinking, people start throwing song suggestions at me, and everything gets really wacky from there. This is the one for March 17th, 2018. Apparently there's a holiday today. I wasn't aware of that. Something about Irishmen. The Irish people and a saint and snakes. And, I'm cool with that. I don't judge if you're Irish. L'chaim. That's Irish for I'm Jewish. I'm not, by the way. But anyways... So, it's St. Patrick's Day. So if you're tuning into this before you go out drinking later, a couple quick words, and I'll repeat them throughout the evening. Stay safe. Don't overdrink. If drinking stops being fun, stop drinking. Take a cab, an Uber, or a Lyft, whichever you have in your area. Travel with friends. Put some extra money aside. All those things. Don't end up in jail. And more importantly, don't end up in the morgue. And don't put anybody else in the morgue. This is a holiday. You're supposed to have fun with it, not die. All right. So this month's theme is Sportsball and Song. I'm struggling for themes is what it's coming down to. Back in my wilder, younger days when I was a teen, I played football back in high school, as every large male in the South ends up having to do at some point in time. Now, I ended up playing football the same way that a lot of people end up playing football. I had no friends, nowhere to go. I had no natural talent. I was not a fast runner, excuse me. We'll clean that. Oh, that made it worse. Ooh, there we go. That made it better. My thumbs are magic. So I go out, and I join the football team my first day as a freshman. And the coach looks at me as I walk on the field, and he goes, "Can you run?" And I go, "No." He goes, "Can you throw?" And I go, "No." He says, "Can you catch?" And I say, "No." He says, "About how much do you weigh, boy?" And I said, "Well, about 250, 260, coach." And he looks at me and goes, "Offensive line. Head on over to the other side of the field." So I played football for 4 years as an offensive lineman. I never started. I was never a world record-setting football player. I was never going to go to college on a scholarship. And I knew this, and it was okay with me. And I was perfectly suited for the offensive line because, believe it or not, fat guys can move from time to time. I was one of those fat guys where I could move, but I was only going to be moving like 10 feet fast, and then after that I was going to take a huge drink of water and gasp for air for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So offensive line was fine with me because you snapped off the ball, you hit the guy in front of you, and if your team was any good, the play was over before you had to do any more moving. It was wonderful. I played offensive line for 4 years. I was second string, and that was about it. That's my big sports ball victory. Yay! I was a varsity football player. I played, the way my school worked was if you went out, you were varsity. By the time I ended, they had changed that because they didn't have enough varsity uniforms to go around for everybody who wanted to play. But that was the only reason. It wasn't like a skill thing. It was if you went out, you were varsity. So I played some freshmen. I played JV. I played varsity. I even played in some varsity games. I was the captain, team captain for one game. That was, it sounds really impressive until you realize like every senior got to be team captain once. And that was just my one time being team captain. So yeah, I never made a huge play. I wasn't a hero. The cheerleaders weren't hanging off of me. It was just something I did. Beaton says some football players can make good sumo wrestlers. Have you ever tried that? Beaton, I get the feeling you're trying to tell me something about my weight. I'm aware. Forge would like people to know he is drunk streaming later tonight. Ardrix is currently debating whether to try vodka and cran grape tonight. I don't know, man. Do what you want. But that is the big sports story for me. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only sport I ever played. I played pretty much every sport at some point in time. My parents were really big on team sports and playing things together with other kids to build like a whole, you have to try this sort of deal with us. So I played team sports really kind of throughout my youth and throughout my childhood as well. Baseball, we played soccer, we played basketball. The only sport we never played was like hockey. And that's because hockey in Kentucky is not really something that happens. I was never good at any of these sports. Dad had a rule, though. You would play one season of each to determine whether or not will be you like it and whether you'd play it again. So, like, I went out for baseball, and I played one season of baseball, and they put me in right field where I could literally do no harm to anybody because nobody hits the ball to right field. I played soccer a little bit, and the fun story about soccer is like I would sit down in the mid, like I wasn't the goalie. I was one of the two guys that are on the line in front of the goal. I don't know what they're called. That would protect the goalie, and I was very good at that. I was maybe 7, 8 years old, and I was sitting there, and when I say sitting there, I mean I was sitting there. I was on the field. I was playing on the field. I was on the line, and I just sat down and started playing with the grass. And as the other team got the ball and started running towards our goal, I hear, loud as day, from the sidelines, our coach go, "Boozy, Boozy." Obviously, no one's calling me Boozy when I'm 6, 7 years old, but Boozy, Boozy. They're coming. Get ready. They're coming. I went, okay. Turned around, looked at the goalie and said, "Hey, goalie, coach says get ready. They're coming." And went back to picking my fucking dandelions because I was busy. Okay? I was busy. Defenders, thank you. Michael put that. Defenders, yeah, but okay. Coach says they're coming. Pick my dandelion, pick my dandelion, pick my dandelion. So I obviously didn't play soccer too long. Baseball, like in right field, I did the same thing. I was maybe 6, 7 years old again, and I sat down in right field, and there was my mortal enemy, the dandelion, at my feet. And when you see them, you just gotta pick them. You can't abide by that sort of trickery with the dandelions moving from the soccer field over to right field in the baseball field. Coaches in our community league just learned that no matter what sport we were playing, even though every kid got game time, it was best to put me where I could do the absolute least amount of harm, because if there was a dandelion in sight, I was gonna pick it. Which may actually explain. Maybe there was like a really good hockey league out there for youths when I was growing up. But the coaches all got together and called my parents. They were like, don't bring the fucking dandelion picker to hockey tryouts. So, yeah, that was my experience with sports up until I played football in high school. I played football in high school, guys, and I went whole hog into playing football. Like, it became a huge part of my identity. I was the football player, which is hilarious because I sucked. I mean, I wasn't any good. I lettered my second year of playing football. My high school was an educational and arts magnet high school. Literally, I think all you had to do to magnet at my school was to be able to get a letter playing at my school was to stand upright and not fall over when you put the pads on. That was it. Give me 1 second. This is my life. The kids were upstairs and came back and said, so-and-so pinched me. So, yeah, I avoided that. If they got to interrupt, I'm going to have them bring me water. I love it. Rocker Fox says, hockey, ironically, might have been the one place you did well, though. Nothing to pay attention to but the puck. Rocker, trust me, I'm pretty sure we could have found a way to get dandelions to grow through the ice if I was involved. So I went and I played football. I lettered in football. And like I was saying, I think the only thing you had to do to letter at my high school, which was a performing arts and an educational magnet high school, was to be able to put on the pads and not fall over from the weight. We had a guy on our team, and I'd been friends with this guy for years. We went to elementary school together. We went to middle school together. Went to high school together, and we went out for football together. And he was a really nice guy, just really nice guy. And we're gonna call him, let's call him Bob. Okay, let's use Bob. Bob's a nice generic name. So we're playing football, and Bob is like me. Bob is not athletic at all. Bob doesn't have an athletic bone in his body. Bob is the anti-athlete. Bob and I were both put on offensive line because, as I opened the stream with, neither one of us had any talent whatsoever other than being big and blocking things. Like, if there was an Eclipse team, Bob and I would have been made a duo and sat in front of the sun. But Bob is on the sled, and the sled, if you don't know, is a giant metal contraption. It's got 5 heavy pads hooked to it. And you get the entire line down, and it's set, hut, and you hit the pad, and you start driving the pad. You start pushing across the field, all 5 of you. There's a coach on it, and he can measure who's pushing harder because it'll seesaw. Like, it'll go the way where people are pushing harder, so it's a way to measure a full line and get that in, the snapping off the line and hitting. And it is work. I mean, like, you sweat buckets doing this stuff. And this was the South. This was in the summer when we were doing these practices. It'd be 90 degrees. We'd be out there in pads and the humidity, chugging water and throwing up and playing ball. And I'll never forget Bob pushing it. And Bob is sobbing, just crying his eyes out from the effort. And if you have never worked so hard that you are vomiting and crying, I mean, that is exhaustion right there. But the only way to get past that exhaustion is just kind of work through that exhaustion. And the coach knew this, but we didn't. So as Bob is hitting the sled and sobbing, we hear the coach yell, "Hey, Bob, I want to hear you cry. I want to hear you cry, Bob. Cry for me." And we are watching in amazement. Now later, years later, as we're seniors, we go back and we're kind of picking at each other, as guys do. We're picking at each other a bit, and we've said, "Hey, Bob, remember when the coach was yelling, 'I want to see you cry'?" And he said, "No, the coach wasn't yelling that. The coach was yelling, 'I want to see you try, Bob. I want to see you try.'" Now, this is after our last game. The last game we're ever going to play. and a bunch of us, the seniors, had gotten together, and the linemen had gotten together on the backside of the practice field, and we're sitting there and we're talking, and that's where we bring it up. And across the field, we see this tiny little Geo, because the coach was a huge guy, drove a tiny little Geo, come around the running track and stop, and he gets out, and it's the coach, and he's talking to us. And we go through that, and we say, hey, coach, were you saying I want to see you try or I want to see you cry? And the coach is quiet for a minute. He looks at Bob and he goes, I don't really recall. But judging by what a bitch you were, I'm going to say I was saying I want to see you cry because nobody thought you guys were going to make it. We almost didn't. I mean, when I first started playing football, I went out on the field and I couldn't run, like at all. So the coach had me running in full gear, running the track around the field during practices until I was conditioned enough that I wasn't a danger to myself or others when I was playing. And there was a bush on the corner of the field, and I swear to fucking God, that bush started talking to me after a period of time. Like, I'd pass by and go, lard ass. I'd pass by again and goes, dumbass. I'd pass by again and goes, speed it the fuck up. I'd pass by again and goes, you could be playing Sega. I mean, that bush taunted me the entire fucking time. But the good things that came out of that were, like, I met people that to this day are my friends. A very good friend of mine from those days is actually the godfather of the Badgeots. And his wife is the godmother of one of the Badgeots. So... Oh, the joys of being a father. Everybody's upstairs watching TV right now, and I told them, hey, I'm doing a stream tonight, and they all said, oh, okay, Daddy, that's fine. And I told the otter, I said, hey, would you like me to wait until you get home to do the stream? She goes, no, the kids will be fine. We have now been interrupted twice. It happens. As a matter of fact, I'll probably be bringing them down a little later, but before we do, Sour Monkey. Sour ale from Victory IPA Brewing Company. Wonderful. Went out and got it just for this stream. We're going to do a couple bottles of these. So I'm going to take a couple drinks of the Sour Monkey, and then we're going to get back to it. While we're doing that, how's your night going, guys? I'm watching the chat room a bit. Trade some stories with me. Oh, that's good. I love it. YouTube has like a profanity filter for its chat room, and it pops up and says, no, you can't do that. That's too much. Beaten in there says, my school didn't have any teams, no football stuff. The only team we have is a soccer team sponsored by the moms. And as a former American football player, I'm going to say the mothers are the people who should be sponsoring the soccer team. Ardrick's Black Claw. I technically lettered in marching band because all you had to do at my school was participate in something for 2 years to get a letter. So I had friends who lettered in chorus. I think you can letter in almost any high school, any official high school activity that represents the school. I don't think it's like just sports. You hear about sporting more often than not. I'll take drill instructors less sociopathic than Southern varsity football coaches. All of my coaches were actually really okay. We had our head coach who was a very good guy. And genuinely loved to help his players succeed. As a matter of fact, he used to say academics always come first. We didn't just go out, and it wasn't like meathead, rah, 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 fuck your classes. He had study hall when, like, the best stories always come during the summer when there's no school and you're practicing. But the good parts of it come during the school year. Like, we had an enforced study hall for the football team. The entire football team, when you got off of school, you would spend an hour in the cafeteria with the coaches walking around and checking your fucking work, doing your homework. And if you didn't do your homework, you didn't play. It was just that simple. They didn't wait for you to be failing before you couldn't play. If your homework wasn't done, if you got in trouble in a class, you didn't play, period. So that was a really good thing. My offensive line coach, really great guy. Still stay in touch with him to this day. And most of my coaches were really good people and cared about us. But God damn it, you better be willing to win that game. Let's see. Rocker Fox, getting ready to run up to college for a 7:30 to 10:30 class. I was also never really into sports. They kind of had a no-tackle policy. So I ended up on the improv. Like their football team had a no-tackle policy? Or you had a no-tackle policy? Because, like, if your football team has a no-tackle policy, that's the team I want to play against. My best sports story from Michael. My best sports story is that during my senior year for soccer, I was put in the forward position, the scoring position, so that I would make a goal. And this was due to there being a bet with the coach. If I made a goal, he would buy the whole team ice cream. Oh my God, you were that guy. You were the example player. Like, you were the one they pointed to and like, he's got a lot of heart. And the unspoken part was, but God bless him, he sucks. Oh my God. Drew Hunter, Tennessee, lettered in marching band. He got the letter and 4 bars for all 5 years, 8th through the 12th grade. Look, good for you. Like, I used to hate marching band when I was playing because there would be the marching band parents who were like, in between or before and after tonight's marching band performance, there's a football game. And we'd be like, hey, no one's coming out here to see the fucking band. With my high school, there may have been people coming out to see the band because, guys, we were not good. We sucked. But when you look at the marching band, these are guys wearing huge woolen uniforms, marching in formation while carrying heavy-ass instruments and playing songs. So, yeah, I mean, that's a genuine thing there. Dry Skull Milk Drops played football for a year, and it wasn't his thing. Found the art and music afterwards. Still got to hit some people in the nuts, though. Yeah, that would happen. Oh, my goodness. But you can't come from the South and you can't not be into sports. I mean, my entire family's into sports. For example, I grew up, and you'll see the sun coming in my side window here because I don't have a studio. I have a den. That's right, I have a badger den, but a badger den is called a badger set. I have learned things. In the South, you can't not be into sports growing up, and we always, in Kentucky, the big one's basketball. We always said basketball is not a sport in Kentucky, it's a religion. And you were either fans of the University of Louisville or the University of Kentucky. Maybe you went to one of the other colleges. Maybe you supported their sports team. But when it came down to it, you were either a UK fan or a UVal fan. That was it. Those are the only 2 gods you were allowed to have. Now, my family were UK fans. We bled blue. And we loved basketball season. We also loved football season. We go down to Commonwealth Stadium. My father had a friend who worked in the athletic department at UK. We'd have nice seats. He'd meet us. He'd give us the tickets. We'd watch the games. Before the games, they would open up with My Old Kentucky Home. They would sing the first verse of My Old Kentucky Home as rewritten by the Kentucky legislature to remove the problematic language that was in there. And everybody would stand up and everybody would sing along. And you say, oh, the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. Oh, the corn tops ripe, and the meadows in the bloom, and the birds make music all the day. The young folks roam on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by hard times come a-knocking at the door of my old Kentucky home. Good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh, weep no more today. We will sing once more of my old Kentucky home, of my old Kentucky home, far away. And then you'd start playing right after that. It'd be a wonderful, beautiful moment, an entire stadium of people singing the songs. After touchdowns, They'd go, give me a C, give me an A, give me a T, give me an S. What's that spell? Cats, cats, cats. And everybody'd be just pumped up and going 900 miles an hour. And it was great. Like as a kid sitting there beside my dad and having all that going along in this wonderful game going on down at the field and looking at my dad saying, hey, Dad, can I have a hot dog? But that's how you grew up there. And we'd walk around. My father would hum the UK fight song. On, UK, we are ripe for the fight today. Hold the ball and hit that line. Every Wildcat star will shine. Fight, 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 fight. For the blue and white, we will roll for that old varsity. We will kick, pass, and run till the battle is won and bring home the victory. And they give me a C, give me an A, give me a T, give me an S. What's that spell? Cats, cats, cats. And we would do that all the time. So you grow up in that environment and you learn that either you really like sports or you don't really like sports, but you find that you like, even if you don't like the game, you like everything that surrounds the game. You like being in a room with friends. You like being in a stadium with friends. You like hanging out and talking and having something to talk about. Now, guys, since leaving Kentucky, I can count on like one hand the number of times I've actually sat down and watched a game. It's just not very often anymore. And it's not because I don't have access to it. It's because I don't care anymore. Like the UK basketball team. During March, I'll watch the team play, but the rest of the year, I could care less. I mean, I could, but not by fucking much. So it's weird when you talk about that. Those are the majority of my sports stories, guys. I don't have a lot of them. I got some stories from the times when I was on the team and shit that we did when I was on the team that may not have been good. Like going out and fishing. I love fishing. Fishing's one of those things you gotta fucking do. And I don't like everybody says, oh, you like fishing. Have you ever gone in and fished this trout stream? No, because to me, fishing is an activity I do sitting in a boat with a rod and a bunch of beer and a bag of chips, and I cast the fucking way down, and I don't have to catch any fish. That's not the point. The point is really for me to be sitting in a boat and doing absolutely nothing for several hours and having it classified as a sport. I don't do trout fishing. I don't do any of that shit. That makes no sense to me. Why am I going to stand waist deep in freezing cold water fighting against a current, casting out a line for a fish that then I'm going to have to fight to get in when I can just go to a lake, drop a line, and just reel something in while having a beer? Doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. Somebody asked me, do I like to hunt? Once. No, I don't like to hunt. As a matter of fact, up here, the first day of hunting season is kind of a holiday. They close the schools, they close the courts, nothing gets done, offices close down. Everybody goes out deer hunting for one day, except me. I take that one day off, I sit my ass at home, and I turn on the fucking Xbox, because why the fuck not, right? Oh, so what's going on with you guys? We're a half hour into the stream. So far, I've sang one song. I've drank 3/4 of a beer. And we've talked about my sports history, which isn't very much. We have a Toronto Maple Leafs fan in here. Rocker Fox says, Toronto Maple Leafs. It flip-flops between really caring and not giving a damn throughout the year. Kind of depends on how well they are doing. Dry Scale loves living on the pontoon and living on a lake for fishing. Oh, Beaton says that they want me to sing a song with them at a convention. Excuse me one second. Oh, and Vulpus Outfox. Some of these stories are giving me flashbacks of running the scoring computer for the state high school basketball tournaments. You were that guy, huh? So you were the guy that I could, like, give you $20 and you would win a bet for me? Cool. Where the fuck were you when I was gambling? Let's see. Forge is painting LARP armor, which is like the antithesis of what we are talking about here tonight so far. So there is a holiday today, too. There is a holiday. It is St. Patrick's Day, which I'm kind of iffy on the background of St. Patrick's Day. We used to call St. Patrick's Day, back when I was drinking heavily all the time, out and about, we used to call St. Patrick's Amateur Hour, because it was when everybody and their mother came out and said that they would be a hard drinker. Oh, wow. Quotation mark says, tell the kids I'll be home soon, which makes me wonder what they're doing in the chat, because they're supposed to be at work right now. What happened? What happened, QM? What happened? I asked that question, and then I have to wait for the chat room. Oh, I stopped in quick during my lunch break. Okay, for a moment I was like, did you get fired? And this is how you're telling me on stream in front of a bunch of other people? Oh, okay. We dropped the stream for like a second there, so I'm going to do one thing real quick. I'm going to jump down, I'm going to discard the delay, and then I'll be right back up with you, okay? All right, there we go. We're back now. Sorry, guys. It dropped the stream for a second, so I figured rather than have a 20-second delay sitting between the chat room and us, I wanted to keep it like 10 seconds here. So there we go. I'm going to finish this beer real quick. You guys give me some topics in the chat room, and then we'll keep going forward. By the way, how about that music night? We had 3 or 4 different songs playing. We had Danny Boy. We had Tura Lura Lura, I think. We had Dirty Old Town by the Pogues. That'll all get edited out when this goes up on YouTube. Like, permanently, because I don't like copyrights. Zombie from Yorkshire, England says they are slightly drunk. What time is it in England? It's like, it can't be early there. It has to be rather late, so that makes sense. Dante is sitting at work prepping for a talk with one of his werewolf players on character development. Let's see, Nesundorma. I mean, St. Patrick's Day. So that's like amateur hour for drunks. That's everybody who goes out and doesn't normally drink is going to drink tonight. And they're going to sing a bunch of Irish songs that they'd never sing otherwise. And they're all going to insist that they are somewhat Irish in heritage. I'm supposed to be Irish in heritage. That is the family story. But the family story here is also that basically I'm a little bit of everything in heritage when you get down to it. Because my ancestors like to fuck. When you boil it down, that's what it comes to. My ancestors just like to fuck. And yeah, the sun, guys, nothing I can do about the sun right now. I'm leaning back so that you can see as much of my beautiful face as humanly possible without it getting washed out by the setting sun in the distance. It's just the setup on this thing. Not a whole hell of a lot I can do about it. Sorry. It's either this or the laptop, and the laptop keeps dropping the fucking stream. Let's see. Zombie says it is 10:36 UK time, 22:36 UK time. So not too bad. Excuse me. All right. So that's where we are there. Sorry I had to turn the mic off again for just a moment. But here, let's see. It's St. Paddy's Day. People are gonna be singing horrible songs that they'd never sing any other time, and that they don't know the lyrics to. That kind of pisses me off because the simple fact is I know the lyrics to a lot of these songs. Like the very first one that we started tonight. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when ye come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. and I shall hear though soft you tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be, for you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me. Oh, yeah. Now, Forge has said, I don't pretend to know the lyrics to songs. I'm the tone deaf one in the family, so am I. I am too, guys. I'm not a good singer. I accepted long, long ago that I am not a good singer, and that I am much, much better at talking than I am at singing. Beaton says he is the singer and his sister is the actor. Now, the big thing, if you've ever worked in a bar on St. Patrick's Day, it is the most annoying fucking thing in the world. It is just really annoying. I know of at least one bar where on St. Patrick's Day, they ban Irish music from the jukebox. It is that fucking bad to sit there because everybody's suddenly Irish. Everybody suddenly wants to sing those old Irish drinking songs. And I guess you could call like Fox and Moore and ask him to sing the thing, but he's Scottish. What the fucks do the Scots know, right? And the Scots don't really have a lot of good drinking songs, at least not a lot of good drinking songs that the Irish haven't appropriated at this point in time. You should try speak singing, though. Speak singing. That sounds like Tibetan throat singing, Beaten, and that's very dangerous for me to do because it ends up with me just talking. Oh, that's one sour monkey down. So, yeah, what else has been going on? Guys, do you have any questions? Any stories you want to tell? Anything you want to jump in with? Because, quite frankly, I got nothing right now. We exhausted the majority of my sports stories really goddamn quick. I actually thought I would have more in the way of sports stories. So, look up Sir Rex Harrison. I know who Rex Harrison is, Beaten. I'm older than fucking you. Yes, I know who Rex Harrison is. And I know what My Fair Lady is as well. It's the musical based off of the stage play Pygmalion, yes. No, we're more sensible than the Irish. We just drink and punch you in the face. Forge says, hey, I'm Scottish. Well, that's strange because I've met your fiancée and she's not a sheep. Oh. Now, I did have a couple St. Patrick's Day stories out there, but most of them always end with me being just completely shit-faced around actual Irish people making an ass out of myself. I remember it. Zombie asked if I was a fan of UK sports. You've got to be more specific, because to me, UK does not mean the United Kingdom. It means the University of Kentucky. European sports. You guys have what? Cricket, right? You got cricket. That's the one I'm familiar with. That and the game that you call football that we don't call football. But you are from the UK, so, I guess a sport for you guys would also include global domination, right? Like marching into foreign lands, taking them over, installing a government, leaving and saying, this is ours now. Plant the flag. Hail the Queen. Let's go. Michael Melee, I remember when I was playing T-ball when I was younger. I was the kid that went to run for the bases and ran the opposite direction. I still remember the look my coach gave me when I ran past home. T-ball is like slow-pitch softball for idiots. I know it's for small children. They tee the ball up, you swing it, you hit the ball off a little tee, and you get to run, and it's cute, and your parents take pictures. And there's always that one dad in the back going, my kid's going to be the next Ken Griffey Jr., not realizing that no one's pitching the fucking ball at him. Oh, rugby. You mean the masochist football. Got it. I think you will find the USA is beating us to that. Well, we're just the successors. The USA has yet to take over India. Hey, we all played T-ball at one point. Yes, we did. We all at some point played T-ball. Oh, man. So it's St. Patrick's Day, and that means like in 2 hours up here, everyone's going to be drunk and stupid, and my phone's going to start ringing with people who are getting DUIs, and I'm going to ignore it because It's Saturday, and fuck you if you call me on a Saturday. I don't pay attention to that shit. What else is going on, though? Hey, we've got a con going on this weekend. We got Vernal Equinox going on up in Canada. That is where Kage and Grumpy Tian Long and Pandez, all of them, Box and Pepper, all of them are up in Canada. And people were apparently sending the otter messages saying, hey, is Boozy going to Vernal Equinox? Or is Boozy at Vernal Equinox? Or we think Boozy's going to Vernal Equinox. And she kept responding to them saying, his passport expired like 5 years ago and he's never renewed it, so I don't think he is. But the response to that was sort of, we wouldn't put it past him. Guys, I love you. And I love going out to cons. And I love doing the shows for you. And I love hearing you laugh. And I love having you come up and talk to me. And I love hearing you talk to me about the site and ask for pictures and all that. I love it. It's great. I am not breaking international law to go to a furry convention in Canada. So, yeah. You are seriously one lawyer who doesn't give a shit. I'm a fan. Here's your secret. Most of us don't give a shit. I'm just very obvious about not giving a shit most of the time. I have always had the opinion that there is no purpose in putting on a false front with people on your level of caring. Guys, I don't come out and say things like, oh no, that's so horrible, I hate to hear it, tell me more about your worries. And I don't do that because, frankly, if I don't care, I don't care. I'm just not going to say shit to you. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to tell you, shut the fuck up, it doesn't concern me, I don't care. But I kind of take my grandmother's opinion. And my grandmother, my sane grandmother, because my other grandmother was batshit crazy. My sane grandmother's opinion was, if she didn't like you, you just didn't fucking exist to her. You'd walk in, you'd be like, hey, Grandma, did you hear about Terry? And she'd go, oh, Terry, how is so, or, Grandma, I'm going out to dinner with Terry. Oh, Terry, ask him how his wife and kids are. Oh, no, Grandma, you're thinking about Terry A. I'm talking about Terry B. And she'd go, oh. And that'd be it. You didn't exist anymore. Terry B never existed. There'd be no discussion past that point. If you tried to start the discussion, she'd just go, and keep doing whatever the fuck she was doing. That's the philosophy I kind of take about life. Guys, if I don't like you, I just don't acknowledge your fucking existence. Because by acknowledging your existence, I'm kind of saying, yeah, I'm thinking about you. I don't think about shit that I don't like. And I kind of take that opinion towards a lot of things in life. If there's no reason for me to be fake jovial and fake happy and fake likey and fake shaking hands, yeah. Ardrix Blacklaw, that only works if there's a ball pit involved. That was within the same country, Ardrix. So that doesn't count. That's not the same thing as violating international borders to go to a furry convention. Violating international borders. That's a euphemism for banging someone at a con now. I'm violating your international border. Michael, I also once registered for basketball camp just so I could eat the pizza they serve for lunch every day. Michael, me and you get along really well. I mean, I can tell. Me, you in the same room, man, we're going to have the same wavelength going on here. I'm going to register for a camp just to fucking eat pizza. That's right. Zombie. Yeah, that sounds like an Irish thing. You're not Roman Catholic. You don't exist to me. Or as my uncle put it, oh Christ. No, I'm not Roman Catholic. I am, I will say this. I am spiritual. I would say my spirituality leans more towards Christian, but I would say I am more of my own type of Christian. I have my own unique set of beliefs. I don't subscribe to any one organized religion. I tend to say I am spiritual. I am not religious. So yeah, but no, I'm not Catholic. The Catholics to me never made much sense. You go into it's like it doesn't matter what the fuck you do as long as you go into a small box once a week and tell an old man what you did. That just doesn't seem very good to me. Yeah, I always kind of worried like there was a priest on the other side with a bottle of baby oil just waiting for some nasty shit to walk into the confessional. So here tonight, and you look up the Otherworld Stories panel from MFF where I did a little talk on that type of stuff. Because right now we're not fucking doing that. Okay. So the OBS went down, the OBS came up. Everything went down and came back up again. We just sort of switched this. I'm going to do one more drop of the stream and discard the delay, and then we'll be right back again. Hopefully it won't show up too much over there because I don't want to get like this delay up to 20 or 30 seconds. That's really shitty. So give me 1 second. There we go. All right, we're back. We're back. Everything's back. We're all happy and together again as it immediately fucking starts to drop it again. And I'm looking at it and ready to drop it again. God damn it. There we go. Ah. That freeze frame makes him look like a prospector. Well, I have to go back through and edit this to see what freeze frame makes me look like a prospector. Sorry, guys, we're getting a lot of pull on the internet because somebody upstairs has discarded my advice to listen to listen to me saying, "Hey guys, stay the fuck off YouTube for the next hour or so." Let's see. Oh my god, that freeze frame makes him look like a prospector. The stream dropped for me a little. I thought it was the UK government saying you're not adult enough to hear an opinion. I'm not even at my PC, says Beaton. Yeah, guys, we have that happen every now on this stream. It goes back and forth. Brian just joined us. Brian has joined the stream. Brian, you are one of the Patreon guys, which is important because in about 10 minutes, I'm going to say your name again, Brian. Brian, the letters and shit are still coming. You had the misfortune of joining Patreon right as I was injured. So everything's getting back up to speed on all of that. So we're going to do a couple things tonight. I'm going to ask questions to the chat room as well in between things because I like talking to you guys when I do these things. So feel free to put some questions in the chat room. Be more than happy to answer them for you. Here in about 10 minutes, I'm going to do some shout-outs to the guys over on Patreon. But I promise you songs as well every time we do this. And my fucking God, it keeps dropping the goddamn stream on us right now. But I promise you guys songs every time we do this. And yeah, guys, I'm on the secondary network at the house now. The one that everybody keeps going, oh, hey, we'll use that. Because I can only switch back and forth so many times during one stream. So I am watching this, though, to make sure that's kind of staying good. So let's see. I mean, we should sing some more songs. How am I feeling now, by the way, says Beaton. Beaton, I am in pain constantly. Everything hurts and each day is a struggle. It's not all that bad, really. I'm walking with a cane. I'm going to be walking with a cane for a long time. I had a follow-up with my orthopedic surgeon. His position is that my hip is healing well enough that there's my insurance will likely not authorize a hip replacement, even though it would alleviate my pain and take care of all of my problems right off the bat. They would wait for 2 other orthopedic surgeons because of my age and the fact that my hip is actually starting to heal before they would authorize that. His opinion is my hip is dead. And like it's going to die off very slowly over the next 5 years. I'm going to end up having a hip replacement in the next 5 years or so. Until then, I am walking with a cane. Everything hurts. I can't bend too far. Can't put too much weight on my leg. If I'm on it for any period of time, it hurts like hell. Life is misery, but you get used to it over time. It's just kind of a dull ache. Like after the stream, it's going to take an hour or so for my leg to loosen up again. So that's where we are now. Now, real quick, before we go on, I want to do a quick shout out, okay? We got several people here who deserve to have their names read out there. These are all my Patreon supporters, all of them at the $15 or above reward level. We're going to be changing that with the next one. We're going to change it back to the $10 or above reward level, switch the audio mailbag down, come up with something special for the $15 reward level, all that shit. But let's go ahead and do this. Petrov Neutrino, Dante PD, who's in the chat, Wayland Rush, or as you know him, Ash Veliska from Anthrocon's Director of Programming, Just Dave, Mark, the Sentient Bucktooth Garage Door from Twitter, Beckwar, Night Star, who has been around and following me since the first convention I went to, furthermore, last year. Netherlinks, Alex George, the Porn Star, Lindsay Love, Uncle Kage, the Drunken Chemist himself, Erasmus Lucan, Silver Gatomon, Wolf Welty, and Ruth. Guys, and Kathy B. Lanham, as well as author. Guys, you are all Patreon supporters at $10 or above. Thank you so very much. For the $5 above guys, the mailbag is going to be coming out here in the next couple days. The people who bought the ship postcards, finishing those up, getting those out to you. And for the people who are on our highest Patreon level, the $25 reward level, there's 4 of you out there. We are writing your letters, and we're going to get those out to you as well. So there we go. The next convention that I'll be at after this one will be at MCFC. I don't think I actually have anything on the calendar there. I was just kind of contacted by Fox and Pepper and Alkaline. They're like, hey, you should come. And I'm like, okay. Because this is my decision-making process. So I'm going to drive 8 hours through the night to show up at MCFC for Friday and Saturday. After that, I think it's going to be Furthermore, where we're going to have some things on the schedule there. Then it will be, I believe, Anthrocon. Then I'll be at Furrydelphia IFC, and I'm the guest of honor at Tiny Paws. Then the next one I know about right now is MFF in Chicago in December after that. So that's the con schedule. Silver Gatomon is in the room, and they just put a fox emoji in there. That is so cute. You left off the giant horse stick behind it, though. I can't get over Ardrix. Oh my god, that freeze frame makes him look like a prospector. Thank you. The beer tonight is Victory Sour Monkey from the Brewing Company. We have done our Patreon supporters. I'll keep an eye on the room. You guys, if you have questions, go ahead and do them. But as we are drinking tonight, we're going to sing a wonderful drinking song. It's an old drinking song. It's a good drinking song. And it goes like this. Drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will pledge with mine. Or leave a kiss upon the cup, and I'll not ask for wine. The thirst that from the soul doth rise, doth ask a drink divine. But might I of Jove's nectar sip, I would not change for thine. I sent thee late a rosy wreath, not so much honoring thee, as giving hope that there it could not withered be. But thou thereon didst only breathe, and sent it back to me. So when it grows and smells, I swear not of itself but thee. Yeah, because that's one of the fun drinking songs. That's called Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes. Oh, wow. So we got our second beer in. We're 2 beers into the evening. We are 2 beers deep. Silver Gatomon has told me, that's a cat, Boozy. Everything's a fox if you look at it the right way. Fox everything. Da, 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 da. Beaten. Bam. Now I'm a supporter. Bam. Thank you very much, sir. All right, guys. So I'm going to watch the chat room. We're going to have a couple questions coming in here, hopefully, because otherwise you're asking me to do like 2 hours of patter. And, guys, I don't have 2 hours of material. I just don't right now. It's been a long fucking week. I had 2 bench trials on Thursday, which if you don't know what a bench trial is, it's where you go up and you plead your case in front of the judge, and then the judge renders a verdict and you move on. I had 2 of those back to back on Thursday. I've got a lot of litigation shit I'm going on right now. We're in the paper part of litigation, which means we're doing discovery and motions and a bunch of pleadings back and forth. It's not the fun part where you get to go into court and you get to yell at people. It's the boring part that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. You can tell I'm not sleeping too fucking much right now. But, you know, that's just how it is. So I'm going to keep an eye on the chat room. If you guys have questions, you want to say anything, you want to start a conversation topic, please feel free to go ahead and do it, because I really do not have 2 hours of material. I really wish I did. And we're working on, by the way, I'm working on starting to have a couple guests on these to plan these a little better and start having people come in, maybe set the camera up a little nicer, stick a couch somewhere and have a couple guests come in on these things. So that's not just 2 to 3 hours of me talking to you about shit you really don't care about. But I'm going to watch that. What's your opinion on Matlock? My parents have been watching that show a lot lately. Your parents like shows years after they're on the air, apparently. My opinion on Matlock is it was a good TV show, and you could hold Grandma's attention for a solid hour with that. Ardrix Black Claw, what is your favorite cookie? The type that's in my mouth. Chocolate Chunks, M&M's. Do you guys remember like the Great American Cookie Company at the mall? They had these big-ass cookies with like cream in the middle. Oh, those were good. Like, those were like diabetic goodness. The diabetes on a bun cookie. I loved those. Those were wonderful. Oh, let's see. What else? What else do we have going on? I still can't get over Silver. That's a cat, Boozy. Like a disappointed parent in there. That's a cat. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. It's been giving me like the same subscriber notification for like 20 minutes down there. So we have that. Let's see. What else? What else is going on today? So, yeah. My parents also like Perry Mason, too. Everybody likes Perry Mason. Peyton. Everyone likes Perry Mason. Michael Mealy, I'm excited for Anthrocon. I am, too. Even though I'm apparently staffed now. I wasn't made aware of that. Somebody made that. Zombie, zombie, zombie. Do you sing tavern songs like All for my grog, my jolly, jolly grog? All for the beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my 10 on the ladies drinking gin, and across the western ocean I must wander. Do I know that one? Yeah, I know that one. I know that one, zombie. To give you a bit of my bona fides, there used to be a bar in Lexington, Kentucky that we would go to all the time. And it was an Irish bar. When I say it was an Irish bar, I don't mean like it was like the faux Irish, college bar bullshit. We had one of those. This was an actual Irish bar. Lexington has a huge horse industry. And whether you know or not, a lot of horse trainers are Irishmen. So we would go out and we would sit there, and all the Irish horse trainers would come in, and you would sing songs with them as they started getting drunk, because they were very jovial fellows. So I know a lot of those drinking songs. Oh, you should probably plug your friends who stream. No. Don't be pushy, Dante. Don't be pushy. I'll do it at the end like I normally do. Don't be pushy. Let's see. So, yeah, I know a lot of those old Irish drinking songs and the tavern songs and things like that. Now, one of my personal favorites is it's not a traditional song by any stretch of the imagination. But we would sing it pretty regularly. Yeah, we were college guys. We'd get shit-faced. We'd sit there. We'd sing it. We actually learned this from an Irishman who had heard it off a CD. We would get drunk, and we would sing it all the goddamn time. And it's... I knock on the door, but you won't let me in. Tired of me drinking whiskey and gin. Locked all the doors from the front to the back, and left me a note telling me I should pack. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Pour my beer down the sink. I've got more in the trunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. And I'm gonna stay drunk till the next time I'm drunk. You've given me options, you've said I must choose. Between you or the liquor, well, I'll take the booze. And hop on a bus down to the south side, and sit there and exercise my Irish pride. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Pour my beer down the sink, I've got more in the trunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. And I'm gonna stay drunk till the next time I'm drunk. I walk in the bar and the fellas all cheer. They order me up whiskey and beer. They're wondering why I am writing this song. They think that I'm crazy, I think that they're wrong. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Pour my beer down the sink, I've got more in the trunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. And I'm gonna stay drunk till the next time I'm drunk. Oh, yeah, Fuck You, I'm Drunk was a favorite. What was the other one? It was 7 Drunken Nights. You guys know 7 Drunken Nights? Let's see if I can get all 7 of the Drunken Nights up real quick. Oh, 7 Drunken Nights. Now this one is kind of funny. It's actually a little dirty at the same time. So let's see if we can do it. Oh, as I went home on Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door where my old horse should be. I called my wife and said to her, would you kindly tell to me who owns that horse outside the door where my old horse should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely sow that me mother gave to me. It's many the day I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a sow with a saddle on I'd never seen before. And as I went home on Tuesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a coat behind the door where my old coat should be. So I calls my wife and says to her, would you kindly tell to me who owns that coat behind the door where my old coat should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely blanket that me mother said to me. Well, many's they that travelled 100 miles or more, but a blanket with some buttons on I'd never seen before. And as I went home on Wednesday night, as drunk could be, I saw a pipe upon the chair where my old pipe could be. So I calls my wife and I says to her, would you kindly tells to me who owns that pipe upon the chair where my old pipe should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely tin whistle that me mother sent to me. Well, many the days I've travelled 100 miles or more, but tobacco in a tin whistle I'd never seen before. And as I went home on Thursday night, as drunk could be, I saw 2 boots beneath the bed where my old boots should be. So I calls my wife and I says to her, would you kindly tell to me who owns them boots beneath the bed where my old boots should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's 2 geranium pots me mother sent to me. Well, many the days I've travelled 100 miles or more, but laces on geranium pots I'd never seen before. And as I came home on Friday night, as drunk could be, I saw a head upon the bed where my old head should be. So I calls my wife and I says to her, would you kindly tells to me who owns that head upon the bed where my old head should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely baby that me mother sent to me. Well, many the days I've travelled 100 miles or more, but whiskers on a baby I'd never seen before. And as I went home on Saturday, as drunk could be, I saw 2 hands upon her breast where my old hand should be. So I calls my wife and says to her, would you kindly tells to me who owns those hands upon your breasts where my old hand should be? Aye, you drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see. That's a lovely nightgown that me mother sent to me. Well, many the days I've travelled 100 miles or more, but hands on a nightgown I'd never seen before. And as I went home on Sunday night, as drunk could be, I saw a thing inside her thing where my old thing should be. So I calls my wife, I says to her, would you kindly tell to me who owns that thing inside your thing where my old thing should be? Ah, you drunk, you silly old fool, drunk you cannot see. That's naught but a hammer that me mother sent to me. Well, many the days I've travelled 100 miles or more, but a hammer with a head like that I'd never seen before. That's 7 Drunken Nights, a bawdy drinking song. Oh, let's see. We're in the chat room. Vulpus Fox. I dig the drinking songs. Occasionally a gem stands out that makes me want to fart around and learn things on the mandolin. Oh, the Parting Glass, actually. Zombie. If this is your first time catching this stream, the Parting Glass is actually the song I sing at the end of every stream. And I sing it for a number of lyrics. One of the best reasons to sing it is that I actually got Kage a copyright strike by singing a 200-plus-year-old traditional song on his string. on his wine stream back in October of last year. I love Dante. He's getting steadily more Irish as we go. I tend to pick it up in the accent of the person I learned it from. And a lot of my Irish drinking songs I actually learned from Irishmen in college when I was drinking at the little Irish horse trader bar. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if that's traditional. It'll probably grab me a copyright strike again, but, fuck it. Who cares? Worst that happens is I take the fucking video down, right? Let's see. So let's see. Beaton says, you're introducing me to all these drinking songs. Please don't go sing 7 Drunken Nights to your mother. That's likely going to be a bad idea. It won't end well. Give me 1 second so I can handle it. What's going on, Henry? Oh, we have a dog that has gone upstairs where he's not supposed to be, so people are trying to get him downstairs at the moment. So let's see. We have I Don't Drink, I Wouldn't Know. Scarfy Conley, this is the best. No, you're the best, Scarfy. Drew Hunter, wait till the Irish becomes Irish. Thanks, Drew. I needed that tonight. So we have all that. Plus, Seamus Kennedy. If you have never, seen Seamus Kennedy, guys, find out where he's playing next and go. Shit, I'm going to find out where he's playing next. Hold on. We're going to look at this right now. We're going to find out where the next place Seamus Kennedy is playing near me. Seamus Kennedy is a wonderful Irish comedian and songsmith. He does concerts all over the place, including Ireland itself. And he is just hilarious. He is very hilarious. Oh, he actually did a show today at 4 p.m. on the other side of the state. There is one on April 7th in St. Bernadette's Church Hall in Harrington, Delaware. April 7th, I believe, I'll actually be in Detroit for MCFC. Then there's one on May 3rd in Baldwin Station, Maryland. So we should definitely, guys, get together and do a Seamus. Hold on. Let's see. How far is it from here to Sykesville, Maryland? That's my first question. Because Maryland's actually not that far from here. I've been to Maryland several times now. Then we have him in Delaware, PA. It's only 2 hours. We could probably do that. But Seamus Kennedy, if you haven't heard of him, if you don't know who he is, you need to go see him at some point in time. He does wonderful drinking songs. Let's see. Zombie, Zombie, Zombie. I'm slowly going through my 3rd Stein, so I'm on my 2nd pint. And now you and I are caught up. That's 2 beers in for the evening. So, guys, like I said, I don't have a guest. What I do have, though, are people to get you entertained when I have to go do things like answer nature's call. And we may bring a couple of them down right now. How would you guys like for the Badgots to take over the stream for a little bit? Just for about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to watch the chat. If you all are okay with it, I'm going to have them come in. I'm going to have one of them sit down. I'm going to have one of them talk to you for about 10-15 minutes. So behave yourselves because I have to use the bathroom. So let's see how that works. Okay? I'm getting a lot of people saying, yes, do it, yes, do it, yes, do it, yes, do it. So we're going to do that. We're going to have the Badgots come in and take over the stream for about 10 to 15 minutes while I use the restroom. Please be nice to them. They are my children. I don't want children and youth called on me because I let them come onto the internet. So here they come right now. Your hosts for the next 10 to 15 minutes. This is Mint Kitten. Oh. And would you like to introduce yourself?
I am...
Do you have a persona name?
Her name is spaced out for your information.
There we go. Spaced Out and Mint Kitten. They are both felines. And they are going to take over the stream for the next 10 to 15 minutes for your amusement. I'm going to orient them. I have to go use the restroom, so you guys got it to yourselves for 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Guys, don't strangle your sister on cam. This is live. There's the camera. Here's the microphone. There's the chat room, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to go use the restroom, and God help all of you until I get back. Could you hand me my cane, please? Thank you.
Yes. Hey, Sophie.
Hi.
No, hey. Spaced Out and Mint Kitten.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called the internet. You.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Well,
I'm out of ideas.
read the comment thingies. Read it. This is what we do.
I don't know what this is.
Hi. Maggie, it's called I mean,
Oh, look!
Shh, 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 shh. Okay, you.
No.
Child. Sibling.
Who's in the chat?
Sibling. Yes, we know. Yes. But you see, this is called a live stream thingy.
Yes.
We're on the internet,
Yes.
and you know what we do on the, you know what we do? We just be like, hi.
Be crazy and destroy the whole room.
Father would not be pleased.
Yes.
But we should totally do it.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
You up for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
So what do you want to do?
Life is doing good. What do you think? Is life doing good? Is life doing good?
No.
Wow, don't have depression. That's not cool.
I don't.
It's okay, we're here for you. We're here
Sophie,
for
stop.
you.
Sophie, stop.
It's okay, we're all here for you.
Hey, look, Dante's there.
Oh, by the way, you have to like shift in front of the camera. Okay, go ahead, sit on me. That's also optional. But yeah. But it's okay. We're here for you. We won't let you be depressed.
I'm done.
Yes.
You're done.
It's
Goodbye.
fishy. Wait, what? No, what? No! I have social anxiety! No, where are you going? Why are you running?
I'm done with this!
Why are you doing this? We're supposed to be a family! Well, she's gone now.
Okay, I'm bored.
Yes, come back here.
I'm bored.
Everything was dying without you.
Everything?
Yes, everything was dying. Everyone was starting fires and everything is dead. Yeah, see? No depression. No depression.
You had depression once.
Max.
Okay. This is the best.
What are you doing?
You have a panda head on.
I hate you, Maggie. Yes, I am a fan of the comics. Also, I'm getting this off of my head. You're ruining my bun. It's fabulous. You put the head on if you want it on so much. Heck yes. Comics. I like comics. I like the comics better than the TV show. Can't focus on the TV show for crap because, just can't. I never got into it. I like the comics better.
I don't know what to do.
Well, you read the comments, and if people ask you a question, you answer the question. You respond to people's thingies on here.
Oh, okay.
See? So when someone, asks a question, you gotta be all like... Boy.
I'm reading the second comic of
The You mean
The Walking Dead.
You mean the second compendium?
Yes.
Because remember, there's.
Yeah, those are like.
Oh, hey, Maggie. I mean, yeah.
I like the boys.
Mint kitten.
I like
Yes,
the boys
you.
fandom.
Yes, I do too.
It's really great.
It's cool.
That gives me a break
What do you mean? What?
from school.
Okay, well, I also get to miss school because of the cons and stuff, you
Yes,
know?
that's why I like it. I get to miss school.
Yeah.
Except for math. Math is great.
I hate math.
It's really great.
Are you even my sister? I
Yes, I
hate
am.
math.
I love math.
I hate math.
I love math. So what do you want to do exactly?
Comments.
There's no one in the comments right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
No one.
Do something interesting. Do something. You're the cute one.
I'm just gonna back out of this.
No. Get back here. I love you.
Well, that's saying a lot. You don't say I hate you.
No, I don't. I love you.
Yes, you do. We had a whole little montage of this.
A montage.
Yeah, we back and forth kept saying we hate each other.
You are my opposite.
Yes, I am. Okay, what?
Wow.
What?
I will do whatever I please. I will murder anyone in any setting. So, you know.
I'm done.
Yeah. What? No, Maggie, what are you doing? I mean, yeah, Pink Kitten. Yeah, what are you doing? This product was not sponsored, and we do not sponsor it.
I know. I really like the show.
We do not sponsor that content.
I know, but I really like the show.
We're not advertising here. So.
I know, but I really like the show. Okay, Daddy's done.
Aww, we'd die for you too.
Yay! Okay, Daddy's
Except for the
done.
baby, because you know the baby would not do that, because you know, yeah.
Okay, well, goodbye.
The baby
Daddy's
would.
coming.
What? No. What are you doing?
Daddy's coming.
Why are you running?
Because Daddy's coming.
Okay. Yeah. Left, Maggie.
Have you driven off everybody on the internet yet?
Yes, we
Probably.
Good. I don't like these assholes that much anyways.
That's.
Nope, they're still there. What the hell were you all doing? No sibling murder on the screen?
I'm just going to see myself out.
Come here. Good job. Family hug. There we go. Would you grab me another beer out of the fridge?
Okay.
Thank you. It's the Sour Monkeys. Ladies and gentlemen, the Badgeots. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but there's a panda head out, and I heard screaming from the toilet. So I'm not sure what the hell happened while I was gone. Oh. I'm scared to scroll up in the chat.
You should be.
Thank you, sweetie. Let's see. Third Stein's like 3 liters, but even I know it's a bad idea. Oh, God, here we go. All right, people with mod powers, we're up. Hey, babies. Hi, kids. Cats are the best. Also a pleasure to meet you both in the United Kingdom. Your dad is a great guy. How's life? Hi, Mint Kitten, yeah. Okay, so we're normal so far. We're normal so far. It's a donut. It's all on you. And she returns. I see you like Walking Dead. Panda, How do you like a break is always fun. Math is awful. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who like math and those who don't. I would die for them. Oh my God. What did my children do? What did my children do while I was gone? Oh my God. I gave them control of the screen and it looks like they're... Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So, as I was saying, because this is a thing we're doing now. Quick, somebody take a screenshot. There we go. I should do an entire stream like that, except that I don't even know how you guys wear real fursuit heads, because even those giant monstrosities are fucking just killing me every time I wear them. They were perfect angels. I feel they were perfect. Oh, it's Meow. It's Meow saying they were perfect angels. No, I don't trust Meow. Meow's determination of whether or not somebody's a perfect angel is not fucking reliable. Nothing that hasn't happened at a con. Dante, there are so many things that happen at conventions. Why do you think that's comforting? Let's see. We had Thomas Waters. Hi, Thomas. Ace Rover. Good eve, Boozy. Good eve, Ace. I like that. Good eve. The Bad Jots were awesome. We're going to start our third Victory IPA Sour Monkey for the evening. If you hadn't had this, it's a sour ale. Actually really good. I discovered these a few years back. The Otter made me go to a place here in town that is a tap room, and it's really good. They have a huge selection of beers, but they have one called like Kriegen Cherry or something, and it was a German sour beer that tasted like cherries, and it was really awesome. And I don't like beer that much, but when I had the sour beers, I was like, oh, this is good. I'm gonna drink this. I'm going to drink a lot of this. And I've kept looking for it and come to find out it's like import-only beer. And it's really expensive. Like you can't import it in bottles. So I've had to make do with other sour ales that I found everywhere else. Graham Paul Tech Bar's in here. Tech Bar, who I met at Furpock. We joined a cult together. DM'd me the picture. Kumoa, how did the graduate of Crinkale High buttons go over? I assume you're talking at First Squared. Here's what happened. There were two things we were going to bring at First Squared that we ended up not bringing to First Squared. One was a large number, like 28 to 30 buttons that said graduate of Crinkale High that we were going to hand out. The other was an airbrush shirt with Alkali's face on it. That we had bid on at the ACE, the Ace FurCon charity auction, and purchased with our own special phrase underneath that we were going to put into the First Squared charity auction. What ended up happening is we left separately, and like the kids were in my car, but our gear was in QM's car, and we forgot to pack those. So the Crinkale High buttons are around here. They did not go to First Squared. I will be planning on doing something with those with Alkali at some point in the future. So that's what ended up happening with the Crinkale High buttons. We also have that Alkali shirt. I also have like some of Quack Quack Honk's artwork. You'll notice the Booze Fairy picture is gone. It fell down and the frame broke. So we're going to put that back up. And we also have like two more things that we're going to put up. As well as a Boozy Badger Boulevard sign that's going to go in the back behind me there. And a Badger mask from Furthermore that I'll be taking back this year that was there. Let's see. What else has been going on in the chat while I have been gone? Sorry, guys. I really had to use the restroom. That is way more information than any of you want to know, but I really had to use the restroom. Let's see. I also put the screenshot I took in there. Don't I know you from somewhere? Are you Forge Wielder on Twitter? Scarfy, Forge is, how about Meow's fiance? So, yeah, we're on our third Sour Monkey. So what's everybody else drinking out there tonight? You guys tell me what you're drinking for a little bit. And then the chat room's open, guys. Send some tweets, some chats. I mean, questions, stories, anything like that. We already did our Patreon shout-outs. So now it's just up to you guys to help me find a stream while we're doing this. And because it is St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to do the smart thing and the honest thing and the open thing. And I'm going to sing a good old traditional Scottish song. Because, fuck it. Like the Scots and the Irish, they're practically the same fucking people, aren't they? Beaton, am I still using the poop chair? I am not. And I am torn about what to do with the poop chair. You see, I have options when it comes to the poop chair. There is a charity in this area where you can donate medical equipment that you're no longer using. Or I could bleach the fuck out of the poop chair, and I could put it in a cons charity auction. And see how far that gets. And I'm thinking about doing the second one, because I really want to see how much people will bid for a used commode. I got to drink non-alcoholic beer a while back. I'm assuming you meant beer, Beaton. Hey, I really am Dante's friend. Maybe whiskey if people donate. Yeah, and guys, that's something else. I'm going to Forge in the chat room. He's talking about his stream later. He does drunk streams on Twitch, which is kind of how I started doing Twitch. And I'm actually going to, now that I'm clear to drink again, I'm actually going to start doing what I used to, which was if people donate, I'm going to drink on stream beer for each time I die in a game, in an adventure game, and then hard liquor for donations on it. So, yeah, we're going to get back to that. But Forge is doing that, I think, later on tonight. So we'll see that. So that's gonna be that. But let's do a very quick Scottish song that everybody does. Yeah, and I love Scruffy. Scottish does not equal Irish. The Scots will tell you that. The Irish will tell you that. Those of us who are completely related to it look at them and go, you know, you're practically the same fucking people. Like the only difference is the surname, McConnell versus O'Connell. All right. So this is Loch Lomond, which is a wonderful Irish drinking song. There's a story behind this. The idea of the high road and the low road is the high road was when Scottish soldiers died in battle, they would go back to Scotland and they would gather there. And the high road was the normal route, the travel across the sea and the walking and the horses to get back to Scotland. The low road was the spirit road, and that's the road your soul took back to Scotland. So with that in mind, listen to the lyrics of this song and understand that what this really is supposed to be is one soldier talking to another soldier, one of them dead and one of them alive, on how they will get back to their homes. Because we're just filled with joy and happy things tonight. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. But me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where in purple hue all the highland hills we view, and the moon coming out of the gloamin'. Oh, you'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. I can't hit those high notes. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wildflowers spring, and the sunshine, the waters are sleeping. But the broken-hearted kens nae the second spring again, though the waeful may cease fair their grieving. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. But me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. There's a lot of songs like that throughout history. They have just kind of these really mournful under themes. As we get closer to October, one of the things you'll hear me sing a lot on streams is going to be murder songs, which are murder ballads. They're old ballads from the mountains and from English tradition and back. But that's, Silver Gadoman says they are having a bonfire on the beach because furries and fire, always a great idea. Zombie. I'm of Irish, Scottish, English descent. All I need is Welsh and Cornish to have a bingo. Don't joke about bingo. Bingo is serious fucking business. Conley told me I might want to be careful about something. I'm not sure what they think I should be careful about. I know the tune, but I never heard the word, says Ace Rover 1, which doesn't surprise me. A lot of people don't know. The part that most people know of Loch Lomond is, I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye. And that's it. And they know it in that really happy, peppy thing. It's not a happy, peppy song, though. It's a dirge. It's a slow kind of sad song. It's about death. Like 90% of the old songs out there are about death, because that's what you did. You went, you had a hard day's work, you went out with your friends, you had a couple beers to unwind, and you all sang about dying. Because that's how you relaxed in the olden days. You sang about death. Oh my God. Vulpus Outfox, sticking with soda for the night due to medications. More power to you, Vulpus. Always a good idea, guys. If you can't drink, don't drink. Don't force yourself to drink. Don't drink when you're on meds. Don't do that shit. That's stupid. Drinking's supposed to be part of having fun. It's not supposed to be the only way you have fun. It's not supposed to be something you have to do to have fun. If you have to drink to have fun, you have a drinking problem, and you need to go get fucking help. So there we go. Michael, I learned something new today. What new did you learn today? I learn new things every day. Did you know last night I discovered a furry dictionary? Apparently, you guys have used the word spooge to mean cum. And as soon as I point that out, everybody told me, oh, we knew about that long before we knew about furry. And I'm going, well, yeah, but I never used spooge for cum. Back in my day, we just said jizz. It was jizz. Yeah, jizz. As a matter of fact, I remember when Chicago came out, we made parodies. Come on, babe, we're gonna sing a song, da-da-da-da-da-da, and all that jizz. Oh my God. All that jizz. The furry musical. I should tweet that. It was careful about the Scottish does not equal Irish thing. Look, if they're angry, they'll kick down my door here in a moment. And then we can have harmony in here. Beaton was singing harmony along with Loch Lomond. Beaton. Oh, the thing about the funeral, yeah, it was not written in a, like I said before, it was not written as a peppy song. I love it. I hit show, like it pops up and it says zombie, zombie, zombie. Spunk means come in the UK. And it's like, should you authorize this? And as I hit show, it says another moderator has already authorized this. This is why I love my mod team. The guys with the wrench beside them in the chat room, they're friends of mine. And they're the mods during the chats because a lot of times during the chats, I can't take care of everything, so I trust people to mod things. I love the fact that they saw that, and their immediate thought was, oh yeah, he'll be fine with that. He'll be fine with spunk equals come in the UK. One thing I will ask, though, guys, is I'm about to put a link in there. It's never required, but I always tell people, even if you're not a Patreon supporter, I understand people can't always donate via Patreon. I always say donate, and I don't know why. People can't always give money via Patreon for these things, but if you do like the stuff, you do want to toss some cash, it's never required, it's always appreciated. I'm putting a link in the chat room right now. It'll take you to our Streamlabs donation page, and I actually think I have it set up for that stuff to pop up on the side of the screen if people get through it, although I can't verify that right now, but it'll pop up with that. But that is the donation link that I just posted in there. I keep saying donation link. It's not a donation link. It's a tip link. If you want to, feel free to pop it in your browser. Go over there, tip money. It pops up in like the right-hand side of the screen. You don't have to. I do this part out of fun. I don't have to buy anything for these fucking streams. As a matter of fact, guys, one thing I do want to say. If you have time this year, and if you're thinking, oh, gee, maybe I should go to a con, I don't know, local one, and it's local to you, and it's in the Connecticut area, consider going to Tiny Paws. They've actually made me one of their guest of honors this year. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Pat Chauffeur from Dog Patch Press, and one other person whose name I can't think of right now. But Kigra and Nothing from Tiny Paws, the con chairs up there, really great people. And the reason that we were able to stop doing streams with a really shitty PS3i camera that I had Jimmy rigged up to this is one of them turned me on to the Logitech camera that I use now. And we're actually going to be doing stuff like picking up different cameras so I can do more videos where I'm not seated here and set those up as well. So any money that goes into it, it goes to kind of improve this stuff right now. Furry Trainer. Hi, Boozy. It's my first time streaming with you. Well, hello. Welcome, Furry Trainer. Thank you very much. Unlike Kage's wine stream, which is interesting, I talk about whatever the hell pops into my mind. And then I sing a bunch of songs, and sometimes I drink, and sometimes I don't drink, and I look at the chat, and I try to interact with you guys, but it's great to have you here, and thank you very much. I'm glad to have you with us. Tiny Paws is rad. You should all go rent a party bus. Yeah, now, guys, one thing with Tiny Paws that you should be aware of, it's a very family-friendly convention. I mean, it is very family-friendly. During the day, you're not going to see adult programming. It's one that if you have kids, if you have parents, if you have friends that you want to bring them and see it, bring them to that one. Dana Lalsey. Hey, Boozy, have you found your kitty yet? I have not found my kitty yet. My kitty has sent me several messages on Twitter asking why people are calling him a kitty, but he has not acknowledged that he is my kitty yet. So if you're at Fernal Equinox or you know people who are, tell them to look out for Tian Long. Go up to him and ask if he's seen my kitty. He'll be able to answer the question for you. Scarfy Conley, I have to say your video quality has gotten better over the months. I definitely try. One things that we are going to try to do is we are going to try to get a much better camera so we can record YouTube videos that are outside of Logitech and try different placement things and different things like that. That's one thing we are going to try to do to start producing a little more content. Lawyers and Liquor is going to start being updated a lot more frequently now. So we're doing that. And a lot of the side stuff that I'm doing like this outside my law practice is so I can start building the capital necessary to go solo. I want to open my own law office. So we do have a goal behind some of this as well. Furry Trainer, isn't that what Kage does? You know what? That's like pretty much what 90% of the live streamers I know. That's what Kage does. That's what I do. That's what Tian Long does. That's what the Dragon Show does. Essentially, we all just get drunk and stream. The only difference is I sing. I will sing to you. I will caress your eardrums, your ear holes with my velvety voice as we move forward through the evening. Oh, it's 7:43. We've almost been doing this 2 hours now, haven't we? Ooh. You got the bad shots there. Let's go to one that I like. Let's go to an amped up song. We're going to do an amped up song just simply because we did a dirge. And you can't get much more boring than a dirge, right? So let's sing a happy song. It's a happy Irish tune. Thank you for saying my last name perfectly on the first try. You'd be surprised how many butcher it. I completely understand that feeling. My last name gets butchered constantly. This is a song called All of the Hard Days Are Gone. It was originally recorded by the Kingston Trio. It was by Kevin McCrill. It has actually been recorded and re-recorded so many times that it is now marked as a traditional tune. It is not a traditional tune. I could very well get a copyright strike for it, but it's sang so often, and I don't have enough followers that people really give a shit what I sing at this point. So we'll do that. It is a good song by a nice Irishman, and it's got a wonderful message. So if you know it, sing along. If you don't, let's just sing it for the first time together. All of the hard days are gone, all right? All of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. We'll laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. We're all safe and warm here, my friends. All the hard days are gone and they won't come again. So raise up your voices and give us a song. All of the hard days are gone. All of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. We'll laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. Well, life has been crowdy and gay. Oh, take the bad memories and put them away. The sun has come out, we have waited so long. All of the hard days are gone. Oh, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. We'll laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. So raise up your glasses and sing. All the hard times that bothered, they don't mean a thing. If you want to be happy, I'll take you along. All of the hard days are gone. Oh, all of the hard days are gone. It's all beer and whiskey and songs from now on. We'll laugh at the darkness and dance until dawn. All of the hard days are gone. There we go. And then you just keep singing the chorus like 9-10 times until everybody gets tired and somebody starts drinking. Drew Hunter says, do one huge webcast with you and Kage and the Dragon Show and everybody else you can get in for it. We're talking about it. It has been mentioned. We have discussed this concept. You got to remember we're all in different parts of the country, though. Alkali and Xander are over in Chicago. I'm out here in Philly. Kage's down in North Carolina. Tian Long's up in Canada. So getting us all in one place at one time outside of a convention, a little difficult to do. Zombie, Zombie, Zombie. Do you know The Tavern Song by William Taylor? I cannot say I do, but I will learn it from next time. Let's see. Work that unique selling point. Thank you, Michael. I will put my velvety voice in your ear holes. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes. Tiny Paws Israeli already did that. Come to Tiny Paws, watch Boozy and Alkali play Vampire with 4 auction winners. Yes, Dante. What is the message from Buddy? Buddy Goodboy Esquire. Tiny Paws. Ask Dr. Professor Fox and the Badger. Bad advice. I will do that, but I will only do that if instead of Dr. Professor Fox, who I've never been fond of him, we have another attorney on there. I want another attorney. I want a dog attorney. I want a good boy. A buddy good boy. It's the furry version of Saul Goodman. Zombies on it. No, it's called William Taylor. No, I cannot say I know William Taylor as the pub song Zombie, Zombie, Zombie. I would love to know that, but I do not. Oh my God. I do, however, know bugger off. Do you guys know bugger off? Bugger off is a wonderful pub song. That noise in the background, if you're talking about the click, 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 that's the three-legged dog going through the background of the room on the hardwood floor, hopping his little ass off. If you guys don't know bugger off, we can learn bugger off together. Now, guys, there's one thing you have to know, and I really, really wish that I could hear you right now because this is the fun part to learn about it, is there's a part of the chorus, bugger off, yeah, bastards, bugger off. And when they say the second bugger off, you go, fuck you. You're supposed to yell it out at the top of your lungs. All right? So imagine that I'm pausing for that, and I want you all at home, every single one of you, loud enough that I can hear your asses up here in Philly. I want to hear you yell the fuck you when I get to that second bugger off in that line, okay? So let's try it. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. You didn't do it. You got to do it. You got to yell it so I can hear you. Let's try it again. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. One more time. One more time. If I hear nobody yelling, fuck you, at the top of your lungs, when I get to that second bugger off, we got a problem. All right, one more time. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Like a herd of bloody swine that refuse to leave the trough. You'll get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. You've been a lovely audience, but now your time has passed. Now don't you all be letting the door hit you in the ass. You've been a splendid audience, but enough is enough. We'd thank you very kindly if you all just bugger off, bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Like a herd of bloody swine that refuse to leave the trough. You'll get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. Here's the thieving waitress been serving you your beer. They put up with your noxious breath and stupid drunken leers. Be leaving all your money on the table when you go. Tomorrow you'll have a throbbing head and nothing else to show. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Like a herd of bloody swines who refuse to leave the trough. You'll get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. And here's to all the ladies who've been waiting for the band, and thinking one of them might make a charming one-night stand. Oh, please don't take offense, 'cause this song's not meant for you. We'll be happy to oblige you when this nasty job is through. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Bugger off. Yeah, bastards, bugger off. Like a herd of bloody swine who refuse to leave the trough. You get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. So now you're promising ladies a night of love and bliss, when truth be told you're far too drunk to stand up straight and piss. So give it up, you bloody sots, you'll not be getting laid. And sooner that you're out the door, the sooner you'll be paid. Bugger off. You bastards bugger off. Bugger off. You bastards bugger off. Like a herd of bloody swine who refuse to leave the trough. You'll get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. You'll get no more this evening, so you bastards bugger off. Oh, let's see. That was fun. Thank you for indulging me right there. Fuck two. William Taylor is about a woman who is to be wed William Taylor, pressed into the service in the Navy. She finds him and weds to another and shoots him in his new wed. Such a happy song. I've done more moderating in the last minute than the past 9 months. That happens. Oh, hey, guys. So we'll give it another hour, then Ford's going to start up his stream. Like I said, there was the Streamlabs link up there, www.streamlabs.com/BoozyBadger. If you want to toss money my way to do these streams. Never required. Always appreciate it. Helps us get better equipment, better shit to do this with. We're looking at a lighting set, stuff like this. Now, how many of you right now, after we sang that song, how many of you now have people in your house looking at you like you're fucking insane for screaming "fuck you" every few minutes at the computer? Yeah, that was my intent. Michael, good night. Have a good dinner. Eat a little for me. I have one more beer after this one. We'll drink that. And then I'm going to jump out of here. But let's keep going. Beaton, good night. Thank you very much. I hope to see you next time. That was fun. Thank you guys for indulging me with that. Let's do something a little lower beat now. This is an old Bing Crosby song. It's called Tura Lura Lura. So just me and you and singing that. I've got to go get dressed for my sketch night. Everyone have fun, drink responsibly, be safe, and good night. Good night, meow. Have fun. So let's do Tura Lura Lura real quick. Now, the first time I heard Tura Lura Lura was actually in a Steve Martin movie. It was a movie, I can't remember the name of it, but he played an architect who had designed a house, and he hired a hooker to act like she was his wife to impress his boss when his fiance left him. And then they fell in love. Now, I want to say House Guest, but House Guest was a really, really bad movie with Sinbad the comedian. But the fake wife makes up fake stories for his background. And one of them is essentially that his father loved the song Tura Lura Lura, and they bonded over it. And I heard that song on there, and I thought it was beautiful, and I was very little. So I immediately went out and thought it was like this old traditional Irish song. It's not. It's by Bing Crosby. We may get a copyright strike from it, but you know, fuck it. Let's keep going. So we'll do Irish Lullaby, Tura Lura Lura, real quick. And then we'll move back into the conversation. Guys, if you have questions for me, think of them, because after this song, I'm going to take questions from the audience for a little bit, and we'll talk. And I don't care what the questions are. I'll probably answer them or make it sound like I'm answering them, all right? So there we go. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lie, Tura Lura Lura, hush now don't ye cry. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lie, Tura Lura Lura, that's an Irish lullaby. Over in Killarney not so many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so soft and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way. But it'd mean the world if she could sing that song to me today. Oh, Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lie, Tura Lura Lura, hush now don't ye cry. Tura Lura Lura, Tura Lura Lie, Tura Lura Lura, that's an Irish lullaby. There we go. That's Tura Lura Lura. Oh. I thought of one other thing, but guys, I told you I'd do some questions, so toss them up in the chat. I'll take some questions from you guys for the next beer and a half that I have here. Let's see. As we're coming up on this now, I always kind of joke and I say I'm an American mongrel, and I am an American mongrel to some extent. I'm actually a huge American mongrel. My background, my genetic background, my family background, we are English, we are Irish, we are German, and we are Cherokee. That is the background of my family officially when you ask the family history. We can guarantee the Cherokee because my grandmother, my mother's mother, was actually a half-blood Cherokee. Her father was a full-blood Cherokee from the North Carolina band. The German is based off of our last name, which we have verified. In the German dialect, my last name means either innkeeper or charlatan who lives in the cave. I'm thinking that our family edged a little more towards the second one. The Irish comes from my maternal father's side. who was a card-carrying member of the Sons of the Hibernian, which is an Irish organization. And that is all in there, and we're all kind of mixed together in one big up ball. Fun facts about me include that that I am actually related to a signer of the Declaration of Independence, distantly, but I am. Going to the chat room here. Ace Rover, have you ever sang live on stage? No. Like, I have, but not really. Let's see. Grandpa Tech Bar, favorite convention to date? That's really hard to answer, and it's hard to answer because there's so many different types of conventions that I've been to now. There's like the Party Con, that was FurPoc, was like the big Party Con. I mean, I don't think I saw a single bit of programming at FurPoc. It was all just getting shit-faced. But then there's things like Anthrocon and MFF, which were really interesting, but they were really big. Furthermore, which was my very first one, was just kind of taking a bunch of shit in at once. Philadelphia, I was busier than hell. First Squared was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed First Squared. I had a lot of programming on Saturday, but before that I got to wander around, and it wasn't too big and it wasn't too small, but it was a really tight community. It was really nice. Tiny Paws was very quiet and very family friendly. IFC, I don't know if you guys, I drove 9 hours through the night to IFC, and then the next day had like a 1 a.m. panel. So IFC I didn't get to enjoy a lot of, because I was just so dead tired the entire time. So yeah. Do I know the Bold Grenadier? I do and I don't. I know the song. I've sang the song. I cannot remember the lyrics or the melody, though. My mother swears up and down that we are related to Marie Antoinette. For a sausage deal. Okay, so nobody from Tiny Paws, who's actually responsible for the camera that we're watching this on, the very nice, detailed camera, as opposed to the grainy PS3i we were originally using, is in the room tonight. So everybody say hi, nobody, because he is one of the concierge from Tiny Paws, which I'll be the guest of honor at this upcoming August. Grayson Welch. I missed the best part, which is apparently everybody screaming "fuck you" at me. Any more questions from the chat? Because we're just kind of waiting now on this. Now, when it comes to music, what is my thing with music? Guys, I was like in chorus in middle school. I was never like great at chorus. I enjoyed chorus a lot. But I was never great at it. So yeah. But you see, everybody's like, hi, nobody, that feels wrong to say. But my son's persona is a shark named Nothing. He went with Nothing as his persona name. We have Mint Kittens, Spaced Out, and Nothing as our kids' personas, which is weird to say. I have kids who have personas. Guys, right now we're doing no holds barred questions. I'll look at them, I'll vet them. But generally, if you ask me something, I'm going to answer it. I have no shame, and I'm 3 beers in the evening. I've got 1 more beer left to drink from my 6-pack. I may add on 1 extra beer if we're going well. But I'm running down. I'm singing a lot of songs now, and that tends to tell me that we're almost done if nobody has any conversation topics or things like that for the stream or questions. So just let me know. Yeah, I'm watching the chat room. You're more than welcome to toss questions in there. It's on you. Preserve the stream. Make it good. Where did I put my... This is a bad idea. I have a bottle opener on my car keys. That's just a horrible idea in general. Is having a bottle opener on your car keys. Did you take the 5th? Did I? Oh. Let's see. Oddest but kindest client you've had. I have a Romani client that I adore. They are very odd, but they are just such nice people. They actually bring by chocolates and candies for me, even when I don't have things with them. So I love that. And they're just real nice. They call me Meester John. I'm Meester John. Which, yeah. Oh, no, you know my first name now. But I am Meester John, their lawyer. When they send people to me, they tell people to call me Meester John. So, let's see. My son is the furry, and he's the one that got me into it. Furry trainer, that is really neat. Are you one of the furry moms? Because that's, like, really neat right there. But, thank you so much. It's really neat to hear that, like, your son got into furry and showed it to you, and you got into furry as well. Was my absolute favorite foreign food and the best restaurant you ate your foreign food at? I love Korean. And not Korean barbecue, like actual Korean cooking, like bibimbap and stuff like that. I love it. I love it to death. I never thought I would, but a couple years ago I was hired to, more than a couple years ago now. I was hired when I was in law school, really, to go up and observe a deposition in room. It was a foreign deposition. The lawyer for the plaintiff was in another country. But it was in New York City, and I was doing the observations. I had a per diem, and we would go out to a place near the courthouse, which is the same courthouse, actually. It's the New York Supreme Court, which is different that's like the trial court. That's not like the Supreme Court everywhere else. But the steps from that are the ones that you see in the Law and Order openings that they're coming down. So, like, after me and the two other guys had our moment where we went up and down the steps going, dun, dun, every 5 seconds. We went in, but for lunch we'd go like 5 blocks up into Tribeca, and there was this really good Korean place that we would eat at. And I never thought I'd like Korean food. I loved it. And that is still my favorite place and the best restaurant I've ever ate Korean at. I can't get really good Korean around here. Every place is really a Korean barbecue, which isn't really the same thing. So there's that. There used to be an Indian place downtown in my town. Near the courthouse, they had a lunch buffet. They stopped the lunch buffet and closed, so there's no real good Indian place around anymore. Let's see. Got anything to make a feeling less sensitive? No, I don't. Have you met moms of furries? I have not. What's my favorite band and or group from Furry Trainer? My favorite band or group? That's a rough question. I say it's a rough question because I like a bunch of different types of music and a bunch of different bands and groups. If we're going with like punk, Bad Religion all the way. Bluegrass, always John Hartford. Country music, I saw Garth Brooks in concert and he was really good. So I'm gonna have to go with him. But yeah, I mean, that really depends on the type of music, because I listen to a lot of different types of music, and I don't really have a favorite band or group overall. Boozy, what advice do you have for an immigrant woman of color, color furry, planning on becoming a citizen of the U.S. in the current geopolitical climate? Hire a good immigration lawyer. That's my advice in any situation like that. Really, in any situation where you're trying to do that, hire a good immigration lawyer. That makes the process so much easier. They can walk you through everything. I know a lot of them who are just really, really good and dedicated to their clients. It's not just for when you're having immigration problems. It's for when you're trying to get in. They're relatively inexpensive if you're not a problematic client, which doesn't sound like you are unless there's stuff in your background. But please don't fucking in the chat start telling me all of the problems you may have. That's shit you need to discuss with the attorney. But call a decent immigration lawyer. They'll help you streamline the process. Zombie. Can I legally recognize as a furry? I don't know UK law. Maybe. 2064. I'm a furry mom. My son's responsible for getting me into it too. By the way, it was fun meeting you at ACE. I love the charity auction. Thank you very much. Let me ask, are you the one who was bidding heavily on the fursuit? Trinity, are you the fursuit bidder? Because if so, just more props to you. That was amazing. If you guys haven't heard about the ACE charity auction, I was helping to run the charity auction at ACE, and there was a mother in the front row. And there was a fursuit, a full fursuit, really nice fursuit, by the way, up for bid. And there was a mother and son sitting there. And every time the bid went up, the mother would up the bid. And it got up to like 400, and the mother just reaches into her purse and pulls out a wad, like this thing of cash, and goes, "This is for my baby. I'm getting it." And she fucking did. She got that fursuit, damn it. And I went back to the room, I looked at QM, and I went, that was the most awesome thing I've ever seen. It was wonderful. What furry do you want to sit down and talk to that you haven't got a chance to yet? There's a lot of them. Silver Moon, I know we have met. I have never gotten a chance to sit down and talk to you, though, really. I'd love to talk to Silver Moon, who takes video at cons and puts it up for everybody on YouTube. Very high-class video, edits it, and does really nice recordings and spends a lot of their own money traveling around to see that. Dio Tazdevil and I got to talk a little bit at Furpark, but it was the first night I was there. I was extremely tired by the time we talked. Love to talk to Dio. She seemed like a really nice person, a really good person. There we go. Trinity says, no, but I had you going on the Alkali shirt. Which we still have around here. The idea was to put that in the first squared charity auction, and we forgot to take it to first squared. There's a lot of people out there that I can think of that I'd really like to sit down and talk to. And the thing is, and it's the weird thing, because you say that, I've gotten to talk to a lot of people. But it's like Duncan the Husky, who was one of the people who helped found MFF. I'd love to sit and talk to him in depth. I've sat down the same way with him, and we've talked. But I've never gotten to have like a one-on-one conversation with him. I'd love to do that. Because there's so many people out there that are really great in the furry fandom whose name, like, you don't see them at the forefront. They're not popular. They're not popping up on Twitter all the time. They don't have thousands of followers. They don't do videos or things like that. But they are the backbones that the furry fandom appear to have been built off of. The backbones of the modern furry fandom. They are the unsung and unspoken heroes of the fandom. For every, Uncle Kage or Alkali Bismuth, there's a dozen people who helped build the fandom quietly. And if you talk to the guys like Kage, like Alkali, the guys who have been here for a while and run cons and do shows and stuff, they always bring them up. They always mention them. You talk to Fox and Pepper, and they'll tell you a dozen names of guys who started cons or started fur meets or did this or did that or made art. And it's really amazing and great, and I'd love to sit down and talk to some of those guys. There's others. It's like I was at Furpark, and there was a load of art, and it was being auctioned as a blind package. And it was art that was by people who are no longer with us. And I took pictures, and I sent it to Kage and said, hey, this looks old. What is it? And he would come back, and he would say, that's by so-and-so or such and such. And this is somebody who really helped build the fandom, and it was going for next to nothing because of that. And it's those are the people that I'd like to sit and talk to. I'd like to talk to the people who were there in the past and who helped build it. And more than that, to be quite frank, I'd love to sit down with them with somebody like Silver Gatomon or somebody like that with a camera and record their responses. One thing you guys may or may not know about me is before I went to law school, I was working on my master's in history. I love history. I was actually studying to be a historian when I said I'm going to be a lawyer, because historians make less money than attorneys, and that's saying something. And the best source of information for anything historical is the first-hand source. It's the person who was there. It's the person who experienced it. And this wealth of information and knowledge about the furry fandom that is, quite frankly, going to start disappearing. It's going to go away. As the people die, as they become non-responsive, as technology progresses past them. as conventions become too huge for them to be as active as they were. That is going to disappear, and that is a shame, and it should be recorded, and it should be remembered. If for nothing else, then one day when you had, 15 years from now, when you have a young kid who's into the furry fandom wondering, hey, how'd this all start, you can cue up a tape from somebody who was there. Those are the people I want to talk to. Those are the people I want to sit down to, and I want to have their responses recorded. Because it's important to remember where we come from. It's important to remember those days. It's important to remember those times. The good and the bad, as Oliver Cromwell said when he was having his portrait painted, warts and all. Because it's only by knowing where we've been that we can really figure out where we're going. Wow, that got fucking deep, didn't it? I'm going to pour another beer in my glass. So, yeah. Have I met Telephone yet? I think so. I think I met them at MFF. I know who they are. I think I met them at MFF. The problem is guys, at a convention the size of MFF, at a certain point, when I have like 5 or 6 panels, even if I'm not drinking, which I really wasn't at MFF, if you do 5 or 6 panels in one day, by the end of it, you're kind of roasted. I mean, you're kind of done. You're ready to lay down. You don't recall the whole lot because you are wiped. You're tired. So I think I've met Telephone. I know who they are, definitely. But I can't specifically say when I met them. So, Silver God of Moon. Unfortunately, because I spend all hours a day recording panels, I don't have a lot of time to talk to people. Fix that. Never let it get to a point where you're not able to enjoy what you're there for in the first place, please. You do great work. People are going to understand if you can't record every fucking panel at a con. Yeah, we got like deep for a minute there, didn't we? Boozy, when are you going to BLFC in Reno? Lots of booze, lots of luck. A plane ticket from Philadelphia to Reno costs like $600 something bucks. So I'm like, oh, fly out somewhere different. Yeah, I went to like BWI, which is Baltimore, which is much cheaper than Philly. It's still like $500 something. So I will be at BLFC when a $500 ticket like gives me a hand job in flight or something, guys. I'm cheap. I got 4 bad yachts. I'm married. I got a house I got to look after. I will be at BLFC when it makes financial sense to be at BLFC. One thing I do tell people a lot of times is I do the cons that I do. One of the reasons that they're all in like 6 hours drive time up me for the most part is I pay out of pocket for the cons. I pay out of pocket for the rooms. I pay out of pocket for the registrations. Most cons don't comp me a goddamn thing to go. So I kind of have to pick and choose, and travel can be a huge part of that expense. Especially when you're like me and you don't really like the idea of rooming with 4 people you've never met before. Or when, like, QM and the Bad Yachts are coming and you don't have extra space for other people, so the expense is all on you. So I will be at BLFC as soon as it makes financial sense for me to be at BLFC and not a moment before. To give you an idea of how I keep the cost down for this, when I go to MCFC, I think I'm rooming with... either Fox and More and Pepper Coyote because they have some space in their room. I'll be driving through the night and getting in there at 2 a.m. because flights, even out of BWI, are like $300 to get there and back. Whereas I have a hybrid and it's like $60 to drive. And I'll be getting a sponsor level so I don't have to buy food while I'm there. I do this stuff out of pocket, a lot of it for charity. I just can't make it to every con nationwide. When I flew out to Seattle last year for Anthro Northwest, that was because I have a friend in Seattle, and I was going out to visit anyways that weekend. And I just kind of added A&W to it. Yeah, and travel costs can get up there, especially Forging in the chat room. Travel costs of eating Meow's profits for some cons. It's a real concern. That is one of the things that we have told Meow is she's going to be the guest of honor at Furrydelphia this year. One of the guests of honor. We live right up the road from there. So since she's going to Tiny Paws, we've told her just instead of flying back, come stay with us for the week. That way you can book your flights out at both times and you'll be fine. And there you go. And then you can ride TBC for us. Rocker Fox, what is the coldest weather you had to brave and why? The coldest weather it was like minus 10 degrees. This was like 2-3 years ago. It was minus 10 degrees. I was driving an old Buick Rendezvous. I had a court hearing at 9 a.m. There was no snow. It was just really cold. There was no snow, but I had a court hearing at like 9 a.m. So I had to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning because the court was a couple hours away from my home, and I was going directly from my home to court. And it was like minus 10, minus 12 degrees when I walked outside. It was so cold that I had drank my coffee when I got up that morning before I left the house. And I had some in my mustache, and it froze to my mustache like the second I got out the door. It was so cold that when I got to the courthouse and turned my car off, when I came out after the hearing, the cold had killed my alternator and battery, and they had just been replaced. So yeah, that's the coldest I've ever had to brave, and I had to brave it because I had to go represent a client that morning. Yeah, Forgia said parking at the airport. Airport parking is a huge expense. Oh my God, when I went to MFF, guys, I booked my flight well in advance at a BWI. I drove into BWI for a very early morning flight that got me to the hotel like at 11 o'clock in the morning. I parked my car. I come back. It was like 60 fucking bucks for parking at BWI for 3 days. So yeah, parking can cost almost as much as the airline ticket sometimes, depending on what airline you're flying. Furry Turner has asked, what is my drink of choice? Despite being the Boozy Badger, I don't drink as much as people seem to assume. I used to drink a lot, guys. Like I used to, like 5 out of 7 days, I would go to the bar the moment I was off work, and I would stay there until last call. And last call in Louisville, Kentucky, where I was living, where I'm from, is 4 a.m. So I get off work at like 4:35 in the evening. I would go to the bar and I would stay there till 4 a.m. and then I would walk home and sleep for like 2 to 3 hours and go back to work. It really was not a healthy lifestyle at all. I have toned down a lot since then. Now when I have a drink, I drink good whiskey or bourbon. I'm a big fan of Booker's bourbon. And I drink about 2 fingers neat. And I sip it. And that's about it. Other than that, I don't swill a lot of booze these days, so. But yeah, my favorite drink is probably Booker's bourbon. Now, like if we want to get fancy and what's my favorite mixed drink, I love Zombies. Like anything fruity and alcoholic, I really enjoy. If it comes with a little umbrella, all the better. Because eventually I want it to taste like I'm drinking a Jolly Rancher. Sometimes, and normally they're not too, like Zombies are amazingly alcoholic, guys. They're amazingly bad, but like a lot of fruity drinks aren't amazingly alcoholic, and that's kind of why I got into having them, because I could sip at them and not get drunk. Let's see what else. Next, Dante says next time I fly I'll be at WI. Give me some advance notes and I can make arrangements for you to park somewhere that's not ridiculous. Hey, me and you need to talk before MCFC. Because one of my choices here may be flying out of Dulles, which is now Reagan International, and doing that on Saturday morning instead of driving through the night on Friday night. So me and you may want to talk at some point, Dante, and see if your husband may be okay with you and me carousing at the bars around the Washington area on Friday night and then getting my ass to the airport really fucking early on Saturday morning. Grandpa, it gets down to minus 15 up here. Come visit in the winter. Boozy Barrister from Zombie. First year of my bachelor's was that, leaving 5 a.m. from the local bar because I knew the owner. Yeah, that's exactly where I was then. I knew the owner of the bar at that point in time. And, I mean, I used to hang around till well after last call, actually. It was bad enough I would pull up and they would pour my drink. My gift to my furry son was a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. Furry trainer, I love you. That is the best gift ever. If you really want a good scotch, I had an amazing scotch at First Squared. I can't remember the name of it, but the person who gave it to me was actually Uncle Kage's college roommate. He's an Army officer now. And he gave that to me. So yeah, Velocity the Running Sloth. I love your name. That's just the best name ever. I am Velocity the Running Sloth. So I promise you songs on all of these. I've sang a lot of them so far tonight. We've done a couple questions. How many of you know Whiskey in the Jar? Like, not the Metallica version. We all know that. And I have a story about Metallica. I'll tell you, like, right after this. I should tell it before. You know what? You guys let me know. By the way, Dante, if you would not mind putting the link to the Streamlabs donation page back up again in the chat room, I'd appreciate it. It's the streamlabs.com/Boozy Badger link. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys after this song, if we get at least one donation of any amount, I will tell you the Metallica band story. And this is back when James Hetfield was like set on fire. Fire bad! James Hetfield from the Napster Bad stage. We'll do that. So I'm going to sing Whiskey in the Jar. I'll get another beer, and then I'll be back. And we'll see whether that happened, okay? If you don't know Whiskey in the Jar, it's a good traditional Irish song. All the good traditional Irish people should know it. Or you're a metal fan and you know it from Metallica. This is not the Metallica version. This is the 200-year-old traditional version. If James Hetfield hits me with a copyright strike, I'm going to call his ass out. Okay? So let's do Whiskey in the Jar real fast. I'll grab another beer. We'll keep this going a little bit longer. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol and I then produced me rapier. Said stand and deliver for your bold deceiver, or to ring gonna do no rye. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. He counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they always lie so easy. Oh, so ring don't lie. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into me chamber, what for? To take a slumber, to dream of golden girls, and of course it was no wonder. Me Jenny took me charges, and she filled them up with water, and called on Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Also ring on a doodle rye. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Next morning it was early, before I rose to travel. Up came a band of footmen, and at front was Captain Farrell. I goes to draw me pistol, for she's drawn away me rapier. But I couldn't shoot the water, so a prison I was taken. Oh, so ring gonna do don't die. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They put me into jail with the judge all a-writin' for robbing Captain Farrell on the Gilgary Mountain. But they didn't take me fists, so I knocked the jailer down and bid a fond farewell to this old tight-fisted town. Oh, so ring gonna do don't die. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I'd like to find my brother, the one that's stationed in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, oh, in Cork or in Killarney. Together we go roving on the mountains of Kilkenny. I swear he'd treat me better than me darling sportin' Jenny. Oh, sure ring gonna do don't die. Whack full the daddy-o, whack full the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. There's some that take delights, and the carriages are rollin', and some that take delights in the hurley are the bowlin'. But I take delights in the juice of the barley, and courtin' pretty maids in the mornin' bright and early. Oh, so ring gonna do don't die. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I'm going to down this, I'm going to get right up another beer, and then I'll be back. And we'll tell a story about Metallica. Oh. There we go. Furry Trainer, good night. Thank you very much for coming by. Oh, sorry, I had to move a little. I had to get just a little bit of my my pillow down here so we could chat again without me having hip pain. So, I promised you a story about Metallica. So let's do that real quick. Years and years ago, I went to a Metallica concert. And it was on a field across a highway. Now, this was back in the days of Napster and yore. And in the days of Napster and yore, Metallica was a very popular band who hated the concept of downloading music on the internet. It was before iTunes. It was before the iTunes store. It was before iPods were really popular. It was before the Apple phone had come out. It was before Spotify. It was before all the solutions we had now. James Hetfield had on this tour set his ass on fire. So we go out, we're at this concert, and we cross the highway, we get there, Metallica refuses to play, is the first thing. Like, they came out, they did one song, and then they left, and they were the headliner. So a bunch of other acts leading up to them came out and did more songs, which was kind of neat. But as we left, we had no clue how we were going to get back across the highway. And there was a gentleman who showed up and said his name was Jesus. And as we were watching these cars speed across, this guy looks at me and goes, "Believe in me, for I am the way and the light." And steps out onto a 4-lane highway. And the cars stop. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea of vehicles for us to pass. Now, he does that. We get to the other side safely to get to the field where our car was parked. And he looks at us and he goes, "Could you give me a ride?" And we said, "No, motherfucker," and sped off into the night. And that's the Metallica story, which is not as good as you thought it was going to be. It becomes better, though, if you realize that there was a song about a hitchhiking Jesus that was out there. And in that song, Jesus stole somebody's car. And you know what? I don't care about copyright strikes. If this goes down, we'll just move to another streaming service. So I'm going to play it for you real quick, because screw it.
Okay.
And we can all listen to Give Me a Ride to Heaven, Boy, together.
myself on the highway at night, but driving like a bat out of hell when I beheld an amazing sight. Was a lonely apparition by the roadside standing there, with a thumb out in the wilderness and a halo in his hair. He said, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, boy, my name is Jesus Christ. So I come screeching to a halt, I said, hop on in. He said, thanks a lot for the lift, I'll forgive you of your sins. Hell, I just come from Jerusalem where things are going bad. Oh, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I need to talk to my dad. Yeah, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, boy, my name is Jesus Christ. Well, I didn't know what to do, so I jammed her down in gear. Kinda kicked my feet beneath the seat, I was trying to hide the beer. Oh, but he just grinned and said, my friend, I know you must think it's odd, but you got nothing to fear about drinking the beer if you share with the Son of God. Hey, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, boy, my name is Jesus Christ. Well, I saw good news in his baby blue, so I stomped it on the floor. Said, you have to show me how to get there, I ain't been before. It's a hard place to find, he said, but I'll give you a little clue. It ain't somewhere up in the air, sitting right here inside with you. And right in the middle, that perfect smile from his robes, he pulled a gun, stuck it up beside my head, said, how's this for kingdom come? Well, I pulled off scared, but I heard him say as he left me beneath the stars, well, the Lord moves in mysterious ways, and tonight, my son, he gonna use your car. Yeah, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, boy, my name is Jesus Christ. Yeah, give me a ride to heaven, boy, I'll show you paradise. Give me a ride to heaven, boy, my name is Jesus Christ.
I know there's no mic. Hold on. Oh. Do you all really want to hear the familial life? Come here, little bud. Oh, what do we have here? Do we have a train again? We have a train. Can we connect the train? Yes, we can. It's like Bob the Builder. There we go. Oh, it came undone. Yes, I know. You guys want to put on Tata? Or do you want to hand me your brother so I can show him? Oh, Jesus. There's a small child here. Oh, Boozy Dad.
This is bait.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to.
Well, that was,
Why don't we put his train together for him and put on
bait.
Tata?
Okay.
Okay?
I'm just Henry.
Nothing, the boy with no shirt.
Nothing.
Welcome to Dad time on the stream. Oh, this is why I was muted, by the way, guys. Did the kids keep the eggs from First Squared? Oh, so you're one of the people who saw my children collecting eggs. Yes. Yes, they fucking did. I have an answer. Your question is going out live to the internet.
My question is, I want to play video games with no sound because I do not want to disturb you.
Yes, you may play a video game.
With no sound!
I said yes. Believe it or not, somebody actually said, they sent to me, they said, oh, Boozy does that and he ignores his kids. The fact of the matter is, I've spent all day with the kids. Up until now, we watched like 3 different movies together. We washed dishes together. We did all of that. This is kind of the once a week time that I get to sit here and not be dad for about 2-3 hours. So they're going to play video games. Excuse me 1 second. I am going to mute the mic for 1 second to ask him something. Yeah. Sorry, I had to tell them that they could eat dinner. Boozy, what toy you played with that you were surprised your kids are also interested in? Funny story. All of my old toys are actually down in Kentucky at my parents' house. So it wasn't my kids who were amazed with the old toys. It was my nephews who are amazed at my old toys. The original Ghostbusters and my old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sets, though, were very, very popular with them. Let's see, Yvonne. One had a meltdown when she left it on the sofa and people took them. Oh, and I know what you're talking about. You are talking about my daughter, Mint Kitten. Yes. Yes. She did have a bit of a meltdown. She is a very, very intelligent and very, very sensitive. She was actually running the stream earlier while I had to use the bathroom. So, but she's very intelligent, but very, very, very sensitive. And has always been like that and likes to keep things and collect things. To give you an idea, when Fallout 4 was coming out, I'm a huge fan of the Fallout series of games. When Fallout 4 was coming out, she started collecting bottle caps for me. And the bottle caps she had been collecting in a small box got thrown away, and she lost her shit that the bottle caps were gone. It didn't matter how many times I told her that it was okay, and that I wasn't disappointed or I wasn't mad, and I was just happy that she was thinking about me. Zombie, have you ever had a stupid client? You really need to watch the Lawyer Horror Story panel from First Square that Silver Gato Moon posted. And that will answer that question right there in full. Boozy, you're our dad whether you want to be or not. Just start messaging me with hello daddy and I'm good. By the way, why do motherfuckers keep telling me I look like Mark Hamill? I look nothing like Mark Hamill. Let's see. Let's see. Before we did the mic, when I was muted while I was handling the family problems, I need to take off and get settled. Yes, Forge, you do. You definitely do. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to be done here in the next hour or so. And when I'm done, you guys should definitely go watch Forge in his stream. That deserved a fish. Yes. the fish stories. Well, guys, we're coming probably very quickly up on the end of my stream, if for no other reason than Forge is about to stream. I agree. You look nothing like Mark. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. Just N64. You look a little bit like Mark Hamill. You are short-haired Mark Hamill. Guys, I'm Mark Hamill if Mark Hamill ate like an entire butcher shop. So that's where we are on the Mark Hamill stuff. So anyways, we're coming up on the end. As we're coming up on the end, because I've got about half a beer left. As we are coming up on the end, as we tick slowly down toward the end here. He looks like a guy from a cooking show. If you're about to say I look like Guy Fieri, fuck you. I love you, Justin. I enjoy your Twitter. I like your opinions on things, and I respect you as a professional and a person. But if you are about to say I look like Guy Fieri, go to hell. So, bottle caps, you say? Give me a sec. That's very foreboding. Nobody. Thank you. So, guys, that's going to be about where I'm going to finish off my beer. I will take questions until that, and once I am towards the end of my beer, I'll pour my shot for the parting glass. So, feel free to give me some questions for the next 10 minutes or so before we get ready for that. And then we'll get ready to sign off so you guys can go watch Forge, drink, and play games. By the way, while we're waiting for questions, the next cons I will be at. I will be at MCFC. After that, I know I'll be at Furthermore. I may go to Anthro, Ohio after that. I will then be at Anthrocon, where apparently I am staff now. Then it will be Indie FurCon, has asked me out as a special guest. I'll be at Furrydelphia, which is my local convention. And where How About Meow is one of their guests of honor. I'm a guest of honor at Tiny Paws this year. And then I will be up at MFF between the end of August and MFF is kind of a big blank spot that I hope to fill. Things that are coming up. I am working with Artwork Tees. We're going to get some, see if we can get some t-shirts in there of some of my worst sayings on Twitter for you guys. I will also be at some point in the next 6 months finishing and releasing 1 Year as a Badger, which will be my retrospective on 1 year stuck in the furry fandom after you assholes kidnapped me. So there we go. A Fallout stream where people donate to dictate what you do. You know what? I like that idea. So there we go. That may be a thing that happens now. Like I saw your Leprechaun tweet, and okay, we read that already. So those are the cons that are coming up. The ones that I know other people will be at. I know Alkali and Kage are both going to be at Tiny Paws this year. So please, guys, let me be very clear about Tiny Paws. They invited me out as a guest of honor this year. And I'm very, very flattered to be asked to be a guest of honor and to come out there and to do things and to be the dancing badger for them. You guys really need to go to Tiny Paws. I mean, it is a good, chill con. Somebody asked, have you considered Fur Reality in October in Ohio? Fur Reality is in Cincinnati. It is a 10-hour drive for me. I would very strongly consider Fur Reality. If I go to Fur Reality, we have to keep it quiet from my parents, because if I am that close to Louisville, they will come and visit me. They don't see me enough as it is. But anything outside of a 9-hour drive, I tend to say if they invite me, I'll go. Otherwise, we'll see if it works with my schedule and if it works with my finances. There's a very good chance I'll go to FurPoc again this year, because if they'll have me and if there'll be some charity stuff I can do for them, because they are like 3 hours away, and I can make them in one night, whereas For Reality is like driving throughout the fucking night to get to Cincy. But if they invite me, I will certainly consider it. I would love to go. I love their theme, which is kind of the con is a RPG type of deal. Buddy has a panel at FWA for anyone who's going. Yes, Buddy has a panel at FWA. The Otter is trying to see if they can get to FWA. Unfortunately, it's the same weekend as MCFC, and I've already told people I will be at MCFC. So the Otter and the Badgeots may be at FWA, but I will be in Detroit on the other half of the Mason-Dixon line. Come watch Alkali Beam. Him and Alkali Beam my charity. Meat Puppets. Thank you, Dante. $5 for every drink in the toilet in the wasteland. I'm completely down with that. We will certainly consider this. Please stop trying to let the furries kill me. And like I said earlier, you guys gotta remember, a lot of the cons I do they don't help me with travel expenses. They don't give me rooms. The most they do is they'll give me a badge if I'm gonna show up and do charity work for them, which does help. But when you weigh it against travel costs and all that, it's not a huge amount. I do a lot of this stuff out of pocket, and because I really like going and helping the charity and helping the con. So I'll tell you the same thing. Whenever somebody says, "Are you gonna be at X con or Y con?" It's got to work with my office schedule, and it has to work with my budget. Otherwise, if the con invites me, yeah, I'll go. But outside of that situation, it's got to work with my schedule, and it has to work with my budget. So, somebody asked, what's For Reality? For Reality is, now one I really want to go to, believe it or not, is the menagerie, the Furry Menagerie in Louisville, Kentucky. And that's because it is my hometown. I would love to go to that. The problem is I can't imagine being in Louisville and not telling my friends and family that I'm in Louisville for the weekend. So that would be interesting. I haven't considered it. I may actually go because I found out Fox and Pepper are there, and we're apparently stalking each other around cons these days. So, we are just about done for the night. We got about 9 minutes left on the con. On the stream. So I'll pull one shot of Kilbeggan traditional Irish whiskey. And we will get ready for the closing song that I end every Front Porch stream with. But before that, is there a traditional song I may know that you all want to hear? I should totally invite my parents to join me at a convention. Yeah, that would go over really well with my very strict Southern Baptist mother and my Ivy League law school educated father. Hey, Dad, come to a furry convention. They'll love you. That would go over wonderfully. So if you guys have any songs you want to hear before I get into the parting glass, we'll do that. I've poured my one shot for the parting glass, so we can do that right there. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to call it night. And I encourage all of you to go watch Forge over on his Twitch stream, where he will be streaming. I think he's still on Final Fantasy. And doing a drunk stream on that. Tomorrow night, I will be back on Twitch, probably about 5-6 p.m. to do Space Quest 2. We just finished playing through the Leisure Suit Larry series. Tomorrow night, we'll be playing through Space Quest series. Or starting the Space Quest series. We finished Space Quest 1 last Sunday. We're going to do Space Quest 2 this Sunday. And then I'll be playing the rest of the Space Quest series probably throughout the week, depending on how my schedule allows. Please, guys, if you do not read the website, lawyersandliquor.com. I'm getting back into updating it 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every Friday is a specialty Friday where I cover a certain topic. The first Friday of every month is Film Friday. The second Friday is... Yeah, you heard the dad voice clear. The second Friday is going to be Freaky Friday, where we cover paranormal aspects of the law. The third Friday is Fetish Friday, where we talk about the law and the aspects of certain fetishes. And the fourth Friday of each month is dedicated to the furries with Furry Friday, where we talk about legal issues that impact the furry fandom. So, there we go. Zombie says, a health to the company. We do not have enough time to sing a health to the company right now. I know the song. We will sing the song. We are not singing it tonight because that is a long fucking song. And it requires people to drink very frequently, and I want to live. I don't have Twitch. Would it be cool if I just spread the word about the stream? Certainly, Justin. Please let people know that Forge is streaming, and let people know I'll be up tomorrow. You can always check my Twitter. There will be that information on there. So we are at 8:54. So we got about 2 more minutes. The parting glass takes a little bit of time. Not very much, though. So we got 2 more minutes before I have to get into the parting glass. Give me 1 second. And then we'll be going ahead and ending the stream. So, let's see. Where are we right now? We're towards the end. Guys, if you have drinks, please pour them right now or get ready to lift them. We're going to sing the parting glass. We're going to get the stream done the second I finish this cigarette, so you have right up until then. And then we'll be moving forward with our evenings separately. But I want to let you know that it is wonderful that I get to talk to you guys, and it's wonderful that you guys get to listen to me, and that you are interested in listening to me. Thank you so much for dragging me, kicking and screaming into your fandom and making me feel welcome. It's a wonderful group of people, and I'm glad to have found you, and I'm very glad to be a part of what you have and what you are creating. So we will do right now the parting glass, and then we're going to end the stream as is tradition. I'll be back tomorrow night on Twitch, and I'll be back next month here. So if you have a glass, fill it and raise it. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And of all the heartache that e'er I caused, at least it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink to health whate'er befall. And I'll gently rise, and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Guys, as always, it has been a wonderful pleasure talking to you tonight. I'll see you next month. And you be good and be good to each other. Take it easy.